through the divisions rather than on the day. Tomorrow out at, I think it's at Ringwood, Vermont Footy Club take on the Rowville Footy Club. Brash, for the loser, that's it. Curtains on season 2015. The winner plays the loser of this game. We've done Rowville Vermont a couple of times as radio games, I think. The first time was out at Seabeck Oval. Rowville good enough at home that day. I think they just won the second time as well. You'll correct me if I'm wrong, but it's a good game and it's hard to pick.
Yeah, it is, Paul. And look, I went up to Vermont on Thursday night, and I tell you what, they're really focused. They're there to win, you know, and it's finals time, and this is when Vermont come to play. However, that being said, Rowville are on the rise this year.
Theatrical.
And the thing is, Jubilee Park is just one of those grounds where your midfield just has to come to play. And I think tomorrow that's where the game's going to be won, in the midfield.
Yeah, I'm tipping Rowville.
Yeah, I am with you.
I'm tipping them because they're both young running teams. They're great running sides, but I think they might just have a bit more depth in that running and experience in their runners. So yeah, I'm going to go for Rowville.
I'll still stick with Vermont though, but I think it'll be a close game.
I think for the Eagles, sorry Andy, that Whale, Buxton and Wilcox are very, very important for them. I mean, if those big men can dominate and do well, and that's where Vermont have fallen down against Rowville this year.
Exactly,
because
Paul.
Showmakers, the Garner boys, even Hicks when he was playing in the ones, and Cam Manuel plays a bit tall, Matty Robinson plays a bit tall, even Frawley plays tall, and now Bussey's back into the side. So those guys can run through the ruckers. There's 4 or 5 of them. They wax off each other, Mr. Miyagi style, all afternoon, and it's where they've been good enough to pip them. And I think the same thing happens today. I think they'll just be too good up forward and around the stoppage with those bigger boys.
Yeah, the void of Simon Taylor obviously threw up a few variables, but still, I actually think Vermont will win. I think Rowville had a bit of a downer last week, and I think Vermont just building slowly and steadily and gradually towards something. I think they're a little bit more experienced come finals time, and I think they'll just get over the line.
Division 2 is real exciting. Doncaster take on Croydon in the second semi-final. For the winner, a week off and a clear passage through to the Division 2 grand final rather. The last time they played, Doncaster by a kick in a radio game. No Wynett for the Blues, no Thompson for the Sharks. It's real hard to gauge who was playing who. Doncaster's only loss for the season came in round 1 against Croydon. They've been the best tied in Division 2 all year, finished on top of the ladder, but somehow it's still hard to pick. How do you see it, Brash?
You know, interestingly, Paul, Croydon have had very much the experience at this ground and at this time and place for the last year at least, and maybe the last couple of years. Doncaster, on the other hand, for me, just continue to defy all the odds. They just continue to play well. They've got a wealth of experience. Their juniors are coming through, and it's not so much the ex-AFL guys, but it's that mid-tier of
Good call.
Mid-tier of their players that have really come to the fore. You know, you look at Narcus, Jaden Hooper, Zach Carroll, Steve Muller,
Kadlachik.
Kadlachik, Ewan McKenzie. These are all local players that have carried the Doncaster Football Club for years. Croydon, on the other hand, rely a lot on Wynett and Kelleher to, kick the majority of goals, but they've got some good players in Ficarelli and Jared Clark. But I just think the fresher legs of Doncaster, Dave, I think they're going to get the job done, and they've had the wood over Croydon for most of the season.
Yeah, I'm going to be a bit harsh here. I'm going to say Croydon are a great season side, but I don't know whether they're a great finals team. And I think they've been proven last year that they really just didn't have the game for finals, and I've seen them this year and last year a little bit as well. And I think Doncaster are going to win it pretty easy, to be honest. I think they're just a little bit more complete, and there are just too many gaps in that Croydon side. And while they've done great to get where they have, it was on the back of a fantastic start to the season, and I think Doncaster will be too good.
Yeah, it's funny. I think Croydon will have a certain defiance about them in terms of how they stack up in finals. But in saying, Doncaster have just been so comprehensive across the board, and great call, Brash, about the mid-tier players. I think they really have lifted, and I'm with you, Brady. I think it could be a bit one-sided, Doncaster for me.
It could be. Just quickly, last thing I'll say on this one is Croydon have a little bit of an ace up their sleeve in the fact their last 6 weeks is that they've won games without big bags from Wynett, without big bags from Kelleher. Ficarelli's hit 14 in his last 2 games. But then they still have the ace up the sleeve of Wynett being the focal point again. So, maybe they can get that going for them. But I will tip Doncaster as well. I tip them for the flag at the start of the season. That hasn't changed. I still think they'll go through unscathed. On Sunday, Doncaster East take on the Bayswater Footy Club. It's a replay of last week's game. Doncaster East, 10 goals last week. Far too good. 5 from Dogger Limback, 4 to the big left-footer Matty Viano. And Bayswater sort of limped into it. I think they limp into this one again. I find it very difficult to comprehend how a side can come back from a 10-goal loss to the same side just 7 days later, or 8 days later it will be.
I agree, Paul. I looked at this game. Bayswater 11-7, Doncaster 12-6. The only thing that changes for me is the game, the venue. I just can't help but feel that Bayswater will be a bit scarred from last week's performance, Davo.
Yeah, look, they've done a great job to get where they got, Bayswater. With the list that they have, I think they've been very, very good. But I think Doncaster East have got too many big game, big name players that will come out and step up in a final.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Doncaster East are... we'll get over the line. It really just comes down for Bayswater about McInerney and Caledon.
Yep.
I think the Twin Towers up there, if they can both fire, you just never know.
They have to fire.
Yeah, they have to, exactly right. You just never know. But yeah, I think Doncaster East, as you said, too many big name players, and I think they'll get the job done.
As silly as it sounds, I think Doncaster will beat Bayswater tomorrow, but if Croydon lose, like I'm expecting to against Doncaster, I think that Bayswater will be more of a chance to beat Croydon next week. It sounds funny, but I think it'll be Doncaster Croydon next week. But if it was Bayswater Croydon, I'll be tipping Bayswater. But there we go. In Division 3, it's a replay of what we saw this time last year. Mitcham take on Templestowe in the second semi-final out at East Burwood. Mitcham on top of the ladder, fresh after a week off. Templestowe did a right old number on the basin last week, but there's been a sniper out there during the week. Seppi's out, Matty Bain's out, Stephen Chilton's hurt his elbow, Danny Sands pinged a hammy. They've made 6 changes from that side to beat the basin last week. I'm not going to tip it.
And then... well, it throws the cat amongst the pigeons the week after, I think.
Let's go.
Kilsyth, I love their ability to break the lines. I'm really impressed by them. It seemed a division higher while they were playing, so I think there's every belief that they can win today. Much reliance on Ash Nolte, exceptional game, under injury duress. So, yeah, I think Kilsyth will win. I really.
There's all the finals across the League get very, very big. Both sides. Noble Park have their way out on Bayswater Road. Dyson Baker, Radio Western Studio. A quick and then we'll be back here to get this final under 98.1 Radio East in the heart of the Eastern football.
You like your to look. Get covered with our messages. My friends and family.
Can I get a picture of a beautiful set over the apostles?
Make mine look like a phone.
Like black with no sash. Words to the song as well.
Tobin Brothers Funeral, anything is possible, including custom designed and decorated coffin. Celebrate your life. To find out, visit tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers, celebrating lives.
Sponsor.
Hey man, can you smell what? My favourites in the world. Season. Man, like you can smell grass at the morning. Yeah, and else I can smell. Pancake Parlour. They're like my favourite smells ever. Like first you head to the G and smell the grass, and then after you've cheered your guts out, head straight to Pancake up with a...
Hi, where the hell are you? We're boarding soon.
I'm still looking for a car park.
Oh, I told you to park at A1. They park it for you.
Choose A1 Airport Parking and avoid the risk of missing your flight. With the A1 Express shuttles, you're at the terminal in 5 minutes. A1 guarantees no risk parking, 24-hour face-to-face service and security. Remember, you don't park at A1 because we park it for you. A1airportparking.com.au.
Welcome back to the Radio Eastern Studios. We'll head back to the boys in just a few moments. Just updating you on all the action that's going on around the grounds. The boys just previewed the other games that are going on across the Eastern Football League. As we mentioned, EFL Gameday, thanks to the Pancake Parlour, will be out at Bayswater Oval where the gents are this afternoon. It'll be Norwood and Noble Park. Plenty of other action going on. The preliminary final in Division 4 between Forest Hill and Kilsyth over at Mitcham. East Burwood hosts the second semi-final between Mitcham and Templestowe. and for the winner will play in the grand final in a couple of weeks' time. And in Division 2, it's Doncaster taking on Croydon, and that one's over at Tormore Reserve. So now that we've covered that off, we'll take you back to the boys and out at Bayswater Oval, all set for a massive clash. Gents.
Yeah, we certainly are. Dyson, thanks for your fantastic work in the studio again. Have you had a chance to have a look at the weather again? And we're still looking at a top of 14 and a low of 17.
I appreciate you not letting that one slip under the radar, but we all falter at some point. That's fine.
And thanks to the local Burger Cove, we'll hear you chime in and out this afternoon with all the scores from around the grounds, of course.
Yeah, look, plenty of finals action. I'll also update you on where a few sides are at in terms of reserves and Colts into grand finals and things like that. We've decided a few under-19s a couple of under-19s grand final position, a few reserves grand finals positions, and ready to get the big stuff underway this afternoon.
Fantastic stuff. Thanks very much, Dyson Baker. Well, Grant Soupy Campbell, you've made your way into Bayswater Oval this afternoon. The best statistician in the world. Crunch some numbers for us pre-game, please, Soupy. Turn your microphone on. It is on. Can't hear you coming through.
Great start, Soupy.
Yeah, good work. No, it says it's supposed to be on. Soupy, that's all right. We'll try again with you soon. We'll take this opportunity to go down Boundary side. Thanks to LifeCare, because we've got the best in the business, Damian Watson and Andy Paolacci, standing right next to each other. What does it look like down there, fellas?
Well, rain and a lot of rain is forecast today. It's still lingering here at Bayswater Oval, but that certainly hasn't deterred the crowd. A decent turn up today with a couple of spectators floating in as we speak, even with a couple of minutes to go before game time. There's a small westerly breeze that's expected to reach around 20 to 30 kilometres an hour during the day, blowing across the ground towards the eastern wing, right from behind your commentary box. But I tell you what, it'll be trying conditions for both sides today, but it makes for quintessential tough Division 1 football. Andy Paolacci, how do you see the surface today?
Yeah, the surface is looking a little bit soft underfoot. I expect players to be slipping, so they'll just need to be aware of when they go laterally. So it's will play a big factor in this match, and as we see a player slipping over in the warm-up just over there. So as I said, be a huge factor, and one that I think will favour Noble Park.
That ground report, a 10 out of 10. Damian Watson's scarf, probably a solid 1 out of 10 standing from up here.
Not great.
Brett Davidson, you're in the special comments chair. You've got some big news in regards to a Norwood superstar who's not taking his place in today's side.
Yeah, it was good of Mark Etherington to come by and let me know that Matty Bate is out of the side today, so that is a big out.
Yeah, that's a big loss for mine. Norwood still by 18 points, Paul. and being the resident bookie that I am, I'm giving Norwood 5-4 today, Noble Park 2-1.
Okay, thank you very much, Wayne Brasher. Norwood Footy Club kicking to the left of your radio dial, or the left of your screen.
Towards Canterbury Road.
If you're streaming this one on efl.org.au or tuning in right here on 98.1 FM Radio Eastern, we just heard the voice of the Prince of Paddington. Tiger Airways' very own Ben Warren Smith has finally made his way to the great state of Victoria. B.W. West, welcome to the broadcast.
I'm wrapped to a finally got here. A few hiccups yesterday afternoon. I hope there wasn't a television series filming out there, because there's a little bit of a show put on.
Patrol.
But anyway, I've certainly made it, but how exciting to be back at the MCG, the Eastern Football League. It's Bayswater Oval, second versus third. Who will take on BALWYN next week? Absolute cracker. I couldn't have been more happy to be out here this afternoon than rocking up and the weather being okay. There's a big crowd in here. We heard Damian Watson say a couple of people trickling in. Well, there's a monster crowd. You won't see it on the live broadcast because everybody's on the broadcast side of the ground. But great to see good support from both sides here. It's certainly going to go down to the wire. I tell you what, a couple of those late inclusions certainly make you think twice, don't they? But yeah. I picked Norwood. I've been on the Norwood train, and over the last 6 weeks or so, they were my pre-season premiership tip, and I think that their form warrants them to go into this game favourite today. Noble Park, been a super fan of them for a long time. I love watching them play. I love calling them. So all signs point to an absolute cracker out here, and we're due for one.
Well, we certainly are, and there's no place you'd rather be in late August in the eastern suburbs of Melbourne than Bayswater Oval. That's 100% sure. I'm going the Norseman as well, but only just. But seeing the Noble Park Footy Club get up on a game of finals footy out here is certainly something we're no strangers to. So wouldn't be surprised if the Bulls got the job done. The players just making their way into position.
So your tip is Noble Park?
My tip is still Norwood.
Okay.
But I'm just saying wouldn't be surprised. John O'Wynn and Vergam Fake ready to do battle in the ruck. Ziggy Orman, Kyle Martin in the guts for the Bulls. It doesn't get much more exciting than that very big name players. Johnny Holmes, a skipper for the Norsemen, the man they call Fingers, Brad Henderson's favourite, Dean Poynton in there for the Norsemen as well. Here we go, the qualifying final, Division 1, 2015 underway. Win gets the tap down to that man Fingers. Kick from Holmes to centre half forward, handball out wide. Zach McCubbin, first shot on goal coming up. Dream start for the Norsemen, puts it straight through the middle. Zach McCubbin, how quick was that? 15 seconds that took. Pointing to Holmes to McCubbin out wide. Great finish. The Norsemen, 1 straight 6. They lead Noble Park, get the score. 30 seconds gone. Bendigo Bank scoreboard first quarter.
That was one of those situations where the Noble Park player was Monaghan, got left out the wrong side of the contest, and that allowed McCubbin a nice easy transition goal. Fantastic bit of play. Good stuff for Norwood.
Indeed it is, as the umpire throws it up. Anderson's in there. BALWYN also picked up there by Johnny Holmes. Got a little boot to ball and it had enough on it. So the mark's been taken there by Justin Gould just inside the square. They're 2 kicks from home here, Norwood. They've already got the first one on the board. It's a sloppy kick inside forward 50. At the fall, the ball, Robertson. Little handball out wide. Went straight to the arms there at point and they might get away with this. BALWYN, little handball away. They can link up okay. Robertson was in there again. Picked up in the end by Gould, who got dumped in a pretty harsh tackle. It might be called in the back, and the umpire said, give it to me and we'll all is fair and we'll have a bounce right in front of us here on the broadcast side.
Players everywhere around that footy.
1.5 minutes in, Norwood leading it by a goal. They got one in the first 30 seconds. Great smother there by Holmes on Anderson. Anderson got another little toe poke out towards the wing position where it's a 2-on-2 situation. Kicking it off the ground there was Allen, didn't quite do so, but eventually thumped inside forward 50 there by Keane. Up towards the 50-metre arc. Oh, solid tackle there by Declan.
Allen had his jumper pulled over his eyes.
Just doing a little strip show.
This is going to be a really brutal and physical contest today, Davo.
Yeah, first couple of minutes it's already been very, very hot.
Right, contested half forward for Noble Park. They trail by 1 straight kick. Johnny Holmes gets a kick out of the congestion. Doesn't go very far. Picked up by Chris Aratis. Handballs to a teammate in a better position. Tackle down there was Jessup. Now the Bulls. Handball out wide. Collis.
Kelly.
Chopped off by Ford. Bulls inside 50 though. Allwyn in position A. Takes a strong mark in front of Jesse Newman. He's going to have a shot on goal. 35 metres out, directly in front. Plays on, wastes no time. Bang. Puts it straight through, scores a level. 1 straight 6 apiece. Ziggy Allwyn at one end, Zach McCubbin at the other. A great start in this qualifying final. Wasted no time there. Maybe not a fan of his own set shot work, Wayne Brasher, because he wheeled around and put it straight through the middle.
Yeah, Ziggy's very much the sort of player that just likes to get on with the game. Rarely doesn't like a set shot, but certainly gets more distance when he's certainly on the run.
Goal number 34 for the season for Ziggy Allwyn. Back to Noble Park from a stint in the VFL with the Frankston Footy Club and getting things started for the Bulls here this afternoon. Wynn and Vergam Fake in the middle again. Wynn gets to tap down. The man they call Fingers out wide to Holmes in the direction of Gould. It'll bounce in front of him and lead towards the boundary line. And it's exactly where it goes. Helped over there by Tim Kelly.
I think that's been 3 easy clearances so far to Norwood. It's something that Noble Park have got to work on.
Very quickly.
Can't allow that out.
Yeah, all 3 of them have been first hands on the ball to Dean Fingers' point as well, who's waxing beautifully with Holmes. Taking the ball out of the ruck there was Craig Anderson. It wasn't the greatest throw-in I've ever seen. Shallow. So boundary umpire's got to have another crack at that. And out in front of the Marty's Automotive Repairs sign on the far side here at Bayswater Oval. The home of finals football in the Eastern Football League. Fake and Win. Ambrose has gone third man up a couple of times. He doesn't there. Fake gets the tap down. Win though. Wins the ball at ground level. Handballs to a teammate out wide. Trying to form a way through there was Cody. Great tackle there by Murphy Ambrose, and we'll have a ball up.
Justin Gould's been impressive early.
Yeah, very good. Very hard at the footy straight away.
Coming in off half forward off that 50-metre line is where this ball up is. Umpire's plucked out a free kick. Shepherd out of the ruck contest is going the way of the Bulls. Vergam Fake will take it.
You love that name, don't you?
Yeah, I do. It's a good one.
Goes out wide. BALWYN back to Kelly, who takes it about 30 metres out from his defensive goal line, across to Peverite, who's had a sensational season, gets it onto Camperman, who links up well with Anderson. On the right boot, spears it up towards the half-forward line. The kick was a little bit of a grubber in the end, so it was easy for Newman to mop up. Handball across there, got it across to Jordan. Now they make themselves out towards the wing position here. The Norseman, one-on-one situation here. Nicely done there by Sketcher, but he turned himself in a fair bit of trouble. Good keeping of feet there by Jakey Ford, eventually seen over the boundary line and out of bounds.
Two very different sides at the moment. One handball running, the other one short kicking all over the ground. So it'll be interesting to see how they continue with this.
And Wright's got the big job on Lee Williams, it looks like.
By throws it in. Elwyn from the stoppage, an up and under kick, so created another ruck contest. Noble Park. They'll link up now through Anderson. He's been lively early in the piece, kicks it up towards the Allen direction. It was a one-on-one situation. Newman wasn't really watching the football, so Shane Allen, it's against him.
Yep, holding off the ball, holding in the contest apparently. It looked like it could have gone either way.
It's not the way that I saw it, but certainly not the closest man, and I'm blind as it comes out towards Ambrose, kicks it up towards a wing position where Stewart takes the mark, thumps the ball inside forward 50. They're going wide. Matty Jessup was the first player out there, but eventually it goes over the boundary line and out of bounds. So 50 metres out, right underneath the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 6 minutes in the first term. It is all square, 1 goal apiece.
Throw in right out in front of that scoreboard. Fake gets front position again. Picked up there by Stewie Kemperman. Thrown in a tackle, but good enough to get the handball away. Now it's Kelly. Left foot kick up to the wing. Sliding in, taking a strong mark. The Bulls working this footy out at half back. Tackling pressure from the Norseman is good though. Johnny Holmes goes in. Kick inside forward 50. Chopped off. Lee Williams run down from behind. Great tackle, holding the ball. Reckons he got the handball to Stewie Kemperman. Umpire says, no, you did not. Lee Williams, I reckon he'd be laughing at that. Handed to him on a platter. That was poor from Stewie Kemperman. No awareness, very slow.
One of the things I've noticed in this start so far is Norwood look a lot more mobile around the ground. They seem to be running on top of the ground at the moment, and they are very, very quick with their hands.
Couple of poor turnovers from the Bulls as well. Lee Williams from the 50-metre line for goal number 80 in season 2015. Just pushes it to the left-hand side. So first blemish on the scoreboard for either side. 1-1-7 Norwood, 1 straight 6 Noble Park. 7 minutes gone in the first term.
So Anderson now on the right boot, sends it out wide. The kick was looking for Brett Doyle.
Another missed target.
Made the big man do a lot of work there. He could only see go over the paint for a boundary throw in.
That was actually a poor disposal from a quality footballer. He should have been able to hit that.
Grant Campbell, thanks to Choose Tap Match Stats.
Still nothing from Soupy's. Things not working.
We might just get a little bit of a switch up in the next moment or so. Brash as the ball's on the outer side. So turn your mic off would be nice also as it comes up now. Fake. Took it. Holmes head over the football.
Strong.
A little bit of a fresh air shot. Martin came in, dispossessed to the football as well. Good little handball over. This is a hot football. Solid tackle there by John O'Wynn. The umpire said play on. Ambrose little handball out, but too late. We'll have a bounce. Grant Campbell, thanks to Choose Tap Match Stats.
No, they haven't changed headsets.
I'm just giving up. Where are you, Bruce? As it comes up to the Jesse Newman direction across half back. He takes the mark. It was a dangerous kick. Allen might be able to chop it off there. Sorry, it was Matty Ava. Eventually scoots on there. He's Collis over the top, in towards the pocket, running hard and taking the mark. Luke Cody. He'll kick from a difficult angle, about 35 degrees, but about 35 metres out. Important kick, this one.
We saw from Noble Park a couple of, in golf terms, duff kicks. It sort of just hit the toes of the kicker. And Matty Ava did it then on that occasion. A short little ball that didn't get higher than about 10 centimetres off the ground. Easy pickings for the Bulls. And he's going to get back and put this one through Luke Cody.
And I reckon there's about 5 Bulls players that have all gone up to Ava and let him know about it as well.
So to hit the front. Pushes it to the right-hand side. It got close in the end, but scores are level. First blemish on the board to the Noble Park Football Club, going to Luke Cody, who's kicked 11 goals so far this season. 9 minutes here into the first term. Scores are level.
Adam Gibson with the kick-in duties for Norwood. Just waiting to get the Sharon back from one of the many young fellas behind the goals. Settled in for a big day of Eastern Football League Division 1 finals action, and why wouldn't you? Where else would you rather be? He's going to go to the right-hand side of the broadcast flank here. Plenty of players. Big fly there from Stewart. No one able to take clean possession of the football. Handball's flying everywhere. McCubbin's in a bit of space over the back of the pack. Gets around Cody. Handball's into some space. And again, the Norseman through Chrysaridis. Handball's out wide again. O'Sullivan into some trouble. Goes through the middle of the ground. Kick inside forward 50 from Stewart. In a one-on-one. No mark taken. Robertson wrapped up in a tackle, couldn't get rid of the footy. Umpire said play on. Kick off the ground from Johnny Holmes. Oh, he's stiffed there to the left-hand side, just to the back bit. It's hit the padding. 1-2-8 Norwood, 1-1-7 Noble Park. Oh, gee, that was exciting.
The transference of play by hand was magnificent then by Norwood.
It's unfortunate they couldn't finish it off there. Grant Campbell, thanks to Choose Tap.
6 forward 50 tackles to 0 so far by Norwood, so great outstanding pressure in their forward 50 boundary.
Once again, the Kemperman kicking couldn't find target. Let's cross down boundary side, thanks to LifeCare.
Just from ground level, for the moment the rain has subsided, so a real chance for either side to impose themselves on the scoreboard.
Manson, big knockdown there, taken by Johnson. Gould came in to lend support. Little handball over there to Ford, who released it also. So they're doing it tied up amongst the boundary line, kick towards the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Robertson's right there on the forward pocket. Jake Wilson also. They're trying to force the boundary throw in here through Brett Dahl, Noble Park, but good tackling by both sides there.
In that situation, a stoppage at half forward, you'd expect to see a couple of Bulls just sit in the hole in front of Lee Williams, but there's a genuine one-on-one there for about a minute with him and Wright, so not what Noble Park would be after.
Yeah, I think that's what Norwood have planned. Norwood have gone and made sure that they've gone to the one-on-one situation in that forward line so that they cannot get that extra player in front.
I think McCormack had 2 hanging off him, so maybe he's playing the decoy role.
Big knockdown by Manson, stolen by Dixon. How can he do the impossible? But it never looked like going through. 1 behind is the result. That's their third on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 11.5 minutes into this first term. 1-3-9 Norwood, 1-1-7 Noble Park.
I think in one area that Noble Park are actually trying to expose Norwood is in the ruck. They're going to team up Fake and Manson against Jonathan Wynn all day and use Connor Sutherland as the backup.
Well, interestingly, Big Chuck started the game on the bench for the Bulls, and they went with Fake early on. I'd see how that works for them. Long left foot kick in the direction of Manson and Orwin. Orwin got hands on him, but couldn't bring the mark down. Numbers at the back of the pack with the Norseman. Right foot kick inside 50 from Jaden Chrysaridis. Right, comes across with the fist, but all Norwood at ground level. Murphy Ambrose couldn't pick up the footy, and the Bulls defending resolutely towards the boundary line, helped over there by Stewie Kemperman.
Gee, Chrysaridis is clean off the ground, isn't he?
Yep.
Fantastically clean.
He's one of Aaron Kirkby-Radia's favourites.
He's put the ball inside 53 times already for Norwood, so one of their dangerous players. I think he's playing on a wing, sort of come half-forward position. Manson taps that ball into a bit of space. No one able to run onto it. Trent Robertson emerges with the football, but the umpire had already said we'll take it for a ball up about 35 metres out from the Norwood goal. As good as directly in front. Manson gets the big frame in front, but Stewart gets the tap down. Norwood, they're going to bring this ball back inside forward 50. Unable to take the mark there was Gibson going back with the flight of the ball. Working hard for the Bulls is Brett Dahl. Allen, left foot kick up to centre wing. In position A though is Matty DeClerc. Chop that one off. Looks to go central, turns the ball over straight to Kevin Keane. He's got runners in support, goes to Tim Harper. Kick to centre half forward, no good. Chopped off by Matty DeClerc again. Kick on the bounce to Chrysaridis, just gathers it. Handballs forward, they've done this well, Norwood so far. Didn't on that occasion though, the Bulls, they're wise to it on this time. Working hard on the outer side, both sides looking for the boundary line. A stoppage will eventually be the end result. On the far side, 1-3-9 Norwood, 1-1-7 Noble Park.
Around the grounds, thanks to the local Burger Co. boys. Sorry, Soupy. 2-2-14 Doncaster lead Croydon. Croydon kicking with the breeze at Tormore Reserve. We know what that can do. Kilsyth through 3-15, leading Forest Hill 2 straight 12.
Well, the ball's now in the forward pocket. Little toe poker off there. McCormack picked it up. It was a good play in the end. A quick pot shot on the goal. Yeah, that's a fantastic kick around the body. It might even be a call touched off the boot.
It was.
Oh, got excited there for a moment.
Good.
So 4 now behinds for the Norwood Football Club.
I think Ambrose was the man with the left foot kick.
Inside 50 is now 9-4 in favour of Norwood, thanks to Choose Tap.
Robertson from the kick in. Little handball back. Make themselves up towards the wing position. This is a little bit better. Colstrop, what he probably should have taken. Rhett Jordan came in, chopped it off. Little handball over now. Poynton had a little bit of time. turned himself into a tackle but was able to ride it. So he goes back to Declan, who's going backwards again. So they've got the safety of the mark through Matty Ava, who'll try and switch the play here, and they certainly do have numbers out wide, and the mark has been strongly taken there by Adam Gibson, who had a little bit of time. His kick wasn't crash off up towards the half-forward line. Stewart, little look-away handball, wanted some support, got that there. Inside the handball over the top there by Williams. Well, Robertson just barged his way through and then thumped it on his boot, and the mark's been taken there by Keane in the middle of the ground. He would want to look wide because he's got a teammate down there in Trent Cody, who he spots him up now. Right in front of us here on the broadcast position, kicks it up towards the Elwyn direction. It wasn't a good one. Stewie Hill was there, little handball over the top. Gould couldn't trap the football. Pressure is immense. And it goes over for a boundary throw in 70 metres out from the Bulls' goal line. That's crossed down boundary side, thanks to Lifecare.
Yeah, BWS, the wind has really subsided here as well. So I've seen the disposal really come to the fore, and both sides are generally hitting their targets.
Manson front spot, knocked it straight into Poynton's direction, couldn't get rid of it. Umpire might just come in and say, let's start this again, bounce.
I actually think that Noble's disposal has been a little bit disappointing. They've had a couple of they should have hit and haven't hit up, so it's something they've really got to improve on, I think.
They can snag the next one. They certainly haven't felt like they've been close to being in front. Jakey forward, the Cruzeradis, in fact it was, got the handball away to Gibson, and now they're away. Here's Ava on the right boot, drives it up towards the McCormick direction. It was knocked away from him, Stewie Kemperman. In fact, it was Big Brett Dorr on the left boot, kicks it into the middle of the ground. Another turnover. Cruzeradis, little handball backwards, and now the kick goes up towards the McCubbin direction at half forward, but Manson was there. He was too tall in the situation, but he might get another chance here. McCubbin on the left boot, kicks it up towards Leroy, and he comes out. It takes a strong mark about 35 metres out from goal.
That was great work from McCubbin then, wasn't it?
It
Absolutely
was
fantastic.
And once again, Davo, turnover, killed them.
And also there's sticky hands from Cruzeradis as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, great mark, and then the quick handball, and they're able to get it back, but it went back forward again, and Cruzeradis says, I think he's probably had 10 touches.
There's also another matchup here, Paul, that I reckon Norwood might be able to exploit. For as dependable as what Trent Robinson is, he's very, very slow. If you can...
Williams comes in and puts it straight over the goal umpire's head. So a 9-point break now at the 17-minute mark of this first term. That is goal number 80 for the big full forward, the leading goal kicker on the EFL's all-trophy goal kicker list for Division 1 this year. And, well, Norwood, that's the, well, like I was just saying a moment ago, Davo, it would be great if Noble Park would snag one to get them like in a position where they shouldn't be. But it was also very important that now Norwood get a bit of a buffer, which they should have already had.
Yeah, and it's been in there plenty of times, so they should have had it anyway.
Ball back in the middle of Bayswater Oval. Jordan's in the guts now for the Norsemen. Anderson for the Bulls, though, will send this ball high up to the half-forward line. No one there. A couple of Norsemen spoil each other, so at ground level for the Bulls, sending it inside 50 is Luke Cody. 3-on-1 in favour of Norwood. DeClure at the back of the pack. First one there for Norwood, picks it up. Right foot kick to Gibson and half back. Should have taken the mark but didn't, so puts himself under a bit of pressure. Had some time, had some space. Right foot kick up to the wing to Jessup on the lead. He tries to come a bit more central, looking for Gould. Misses that target, but he's good enough on the bounce to pick up the footy. Handball to Johnny Holmes, the skipper. Goes to sell a bit of candy, but gives it to Gibson. Right foot kick, smothered. Have the numbers here, Norwood. Holmes again. Gets the old 1-2. Kicks to the top of the square in position. A strong mark at the top of the goal square. Darren Stewart.
Just go back.
Yeah, go back and kick the goal. Good transportation of the football from Norwood by handball again.
Their speed over the ground is really hurting Noble at the moment. Their transition work from their back half sensational.
Stewart makes the umpire do a bit of work, but he's kicked it. 3 goals on the board for Norwood. Darren Stewart gets his first. 3-4-22 the Norsemen. They lead at Noble Park 1-1-7. And I think, Dave, it comes down to Noble Park's use of the footy going inside 50. The high kick from Anderson was no good there, and they ended up going back in again by Cody, and they're just rebounding it far too easily, Norwood.
It's a bit hard to work out what their actual structure and their team play and their set plays are with Noble, where, as you know, Norwood are going to get it. They're going to go out wide and they're going to go down and then bring it back inside quickly. So, they've been very impressive this first 15 minutes.
Hope you're enjoying the broadcast on 98.1 Radio Eastern and streaming live around the globe on efl.org.au. Plenty of other finals happening around this afternoon. Keep everybody up to date at Footy EFL on Twitter. We'll take play-by-play. umpire to restart this match now. Took a while for the ball to come back. Fake. We'll give that one to him. It comes down Cody. Couldn't pick it up. It was stolen there by Monaghan, who did well. And now they'll link up through the middle here. The Bulls. The kick goes inside forward 50. And it was a strong attempt. Knocked out towards the Elwyn direction. Right on his hammer there is Ava. Laying the tackle. Umpire said play on. So Cody picks it up. His kick was smothered. Kyle Martin asking where was the handball.
Noble Park have got to try and find a way getting Kyle Martin into the contest. He hasn't touched the ball yet.
He's had 2 handballs.
2 handballs. Okay. Shut up, Wayne.
Still hasn't had a kick, so I think it's fair enough that he needs to get in the game.
Oh. Umpire throws it in. Elwyn played for the free kick. Umpire said play on, so it was probably a good decision in the end. The kick goes in towards the middle of the ground. Stewart goes up, and at the back, Brett Dorr. He read the ball nicely. Usually a good kick of the football too. Drives it out wide, looking for the Collis direction. He's had a few touches in this term. Just slams it on the boot inside forward 50. It was a fair old grubber looking for Allen. Stolen there by Declan over the boundary line and out of bounds she goes. About 48 metres out from Noble Park's goal line. It's 22-7 at the moment, so a 15-point margin.
Again, you've got control of the football in the middle and then you miss 2 targets in a row. It doesn't help.
Jordan in the end got the throw in. The umpire came in and paid a free kick. It might go to the way of Harper. No, it's not. Certainly not Harper.
Collis?
I think it is Collis. Inside forward 50, the ball goes. Alwyn stole it. Little look away handball, but it was nicely chopped off there by Ava. Drives it up towards the centre half back line. Charging out there is Williams, who's a long way out from goal, but they'll link up okay here. Here's Ambrose on the right boot. Sends the ball inside forward 50. McCormack's in a one-on-one situation. He read the play well, picked it up. He goes after it. He just had no one telling him that you were right. Someone was right on his hammer and brought to ground in a strong tackle. So surely he must have known that he was someone was right on his hammer. Anderson takes the mark right underneath the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 15-point margin to the Norseman, Seymour.
Yeah, it was a great tackle by Wilson. He'll get the ball back from Anderson in the switch of play. The broadcast side of the ground. He's got a couple of teammates up ahead. Daniel Keeley just coming onto the ground. Kick is to nobody in particular. It's absolutely no man's land. Jordan runs onto it for Norwood. Handballs to McCubbin. Gets it back to Jordan. Should just pump this ball inside 50. He does. He's got Matty Jessup all by himself.
Great vision.
Poor kick from the man there, Jake Wilson. I'm not entirely sure who he was trying to find. He just kicked it in amongst 3 Norwood players who raffled it, and Jordan and McCubbin, who worked together nicely, find Jessup front and centre all by himself. We'll try and kick the 4th goal for Norwood in this first term. It's about 35 metres out, a slight angle. Should put this one through. Didn't get much of that. Didn't make the distance in the end. Lee Williams at the front of the pack. First one to recover. Left foot kicker in the corner. He's got 2. Gee whiz, Lee Williams. Good work from him. Cast in the role of a rover on that occasion. That's a big contender for the Westfield Knox goal of the day. He's got 2, the big full forward.
I think it's just the cleanliness of Norwood on the ground, their speed across the ground, their hands. Gee, Noble have made some mistakes with their kicking, and you just pointed out, Paul, about the strange kick from defence before. That was because they went across ground and didn't have any actual players down the ground to go to next, so they went the wrong way. So they've made some poor choices.
I think there actually is a few worrying signs at the moment. Jordan, little toe poke. Anderson, who's certainly doing his bit for his side, gets it out. Knock on towards the Kelly direction. Martin was in there as well. Eventually charged through. Robertson got it away. Keeley on the left boot. It was a bit of a grubber in towards the middle of the ground and up towards Cruzaradis across centre half forward. He couldn't release the football because Jackson Sketcher had him nicely wrapped up, and will have a bounce 50 metres out from Norwood's goals. They lead by 21.
Soupy, are you keeping an eye on clearances? Because it just seems to be all Norwood's way.
10 apiece for the game.
Okay.
That's the choose tap. It is delicious. Win. His kick was smothered. The big man goes after it again. That was really good play. Got it away to Gould, whose kick almost looked touched off the boot, but Robertson was in position A and he was by himself. So moves it out wide. Having to reach for it was Keeley. Short pass was on and it was an absolute shocker too. It was smothered. Norwood might get another pot shot on the goals here. The kick goes goalward and it goes through as well. Fantastic bit of play. The mark has been, the goal's been kicked by Lachlan Dixon, and Norwood, well, they stretched their lead out to 27. This is I was scared before. Now I'm frightened.
Another goal from a turnover, Dave.
Yep. Yeah, and again, it was that crucial kicking turnover. Even the kick that got to the guy in the first place wasn't great. So they're just rushing. They haven't got any flow. They're not settling down. And that's because Norwood are just all over them. They are all over them at the moment.
Combination of poor execution and poor decision-making. Win gets the tap down from Norwood. Kick off the ground from Kyle Martin. Umpire's paid a free kick. It's going to come back into the middle of the ground, going the way of the Bulls.
The Norwood half-back line are just well on top at the moment. They're just creating run at will.
Daniel Keeley's got the chance to kick over the Norwood half-back line there. That's
Almost
what he does.
kicked it into the mark again.
But Norwood, ball was called touched off the boot, so that's exactly what he did. Mark wasn't paid, which means the door's open for the Bulls. Handball from Allen, back to Keeley. Right foot kick towards goal. Looks like it's off target. Collis couldn't take the mark, bounces at his bootlaces and rolls over for a behind. 1-2-8 Noble Park. 5-4-34 the Norwood Footy Club. 25 and a half minutes gone here in the first term. And Adam Gibson from Norwood has the kicking duties. That was even just a kick in hope, wasn't it, to go forward? There was really no idea, just put it down there and hoping that they would take a mark.
So the kick by Gibson, well, it was a good one. Big fly there by Kelly, couldn't pull it down. Cruzaradas, little handball back. So Norwood, another chance to go forward, but Dawes in the right spot. The big man, outside 50, just wobbles it forward in the end. It was an interesting looking kick, looking for Martin. He still can have another go at it. He's got two opponents to beat in the contest, and eventually the umpire will call for it.
Quarter time at Walker Park, thanks to the local Burger Co. Kilsyth 2-3-15, Forest Hill 2-12, and at Tormore Reserve, Doncaster having it all their own way. 5-3-33, Croydon one behind with the breeze in the first term.
Oh, holy dooly, Gould got it out to Gibson on the right boot, sends it out towards the point and direction. He had a big fly. Kemperman's right on his hammer, brought to ground. He might get pinged here, and the umpire said it's okay. Let's have another bounce. They need to snag one.
Didn't take the mark there, Poynton, but the kick was good enough, and it just shows the difference between these two sides.
Fake over the back. A lot of players around this ball. McCubbin, little handball away. Curling kick up towards the hill direction. Bouncing over she goes for a boundary throw in.
I reckon BWS, if we're taking stats on ball efficiency, I reckon Noble Park would be under 30%.
You probably put odds on that as well, Brash.
Yep.
The umpire throws it in, comes out. Harper goes after it. Gould, certainly been lively. Very impressed with his first term. He's come to play.
Maybe this is where Noble Park can get on top. O'Sullivan's gone into the ruck. You'd think Fake could have his measure.
Speak of the devil, Fake got it down. Harper got a little scrambly kick. Monaghan couldn't pick it up. The handball was looking for Anderson, but it was chopped off there by Aber. Slams it up towards the wing position.
Yeah, good hands.
Where strong mark has been taken there by Darren Stewart. He's kicked a goal in this term. Swings around on the right boot. Kicks it inside forward 50. Or went straight over the top there. A man, it looked like it was his. And it came down towards the Williams direction. Anderson's in there as well. Little handball out there by Dixon. Snap around the body and then standing in position A. Stewie Kemperman takes a solid mark about 20 metres out from Norwood's goal line. So he takes off two and he thumps it out towards the wing position, and it worked out okay in the end. Collis, little handball back there, mucking around with it a bit now. Cody, handball out wide. They still had that little bit of space. Eventually it was almost handed to Kemperman, who got the kick on towards the wing when the siren sounds to end the first term out here at Bayswater Oval. And it is Norwood who have started incredibly strongly. 9 scoring shots to 3. 5-4-34 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, and the Noble Park Football Club are 1-2-8. All the goal kickers are spread right around. They're all the singles.
Lee Williams has 2.
He has 2?
Yes. Kicked his second late in that quarter, the big full forward.
It's the only one I missed, but I see you haven't written anything down, so I see you going Rain Man on me today. So
yes.
Hope you're enjoying the broadcast on 98.1 Radio East. It is streaming live around the globe on efl.org.au. Dyson Baker will be back with all those important around the ground scores, because the Choose Tap final series
John always said
away.
his send-off would be different. He wasn't wrong. He was a fun-loving guy who had a passion for flying. So last week, John's family and closest friends celebrated his life on a charter flight over the Yarra Valley. They took in the breathtaking views, enjoyed a glass of bubbles, and told lots of stories.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, our motto is, if it's legal, it's possible. So celebrate your life the way you want. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Program sponsor.
Hey man. Yeah man. Can you smell it? Smell what? It's my favourite smell in the world. Footy season. Yeah man, like you can smell the grass at the Mighty G. Yeah, and you know what else I can smell? The hot marshmallow chocolate at Pancake Parlour. They're like my favourite smells ever. Like first you head to the G and smell the grass, and then after you've cheered your guts out, head straight to Pancake Parlour and warm up with a delicious hot marshmallow chocolate. Oh, it's made with pure Belgian chocolate, seriously decadent. Oh, Pancake Parlour, open 24 hours, High Point, Malvern and Doncaster East. Lovely.
Program sponsor.
Ladies and gentlemen, Flight 57 is now boarding through gate.
Hi, where the hell are you? We're boarding soon.
I'm still looking for a car park.
Oh, I told you to park at A1. They park it for you.
Choose A1 Airport Parking and avoid the risk of missing your flight. With the A1 Express shuttles, you're at the terminal in 5 minutes. A1 guarantees no risk parking, 24-hour face-to-face service and security. Remember, you don't park at A1 because we park it for you. a1airportparking.com.au.
Welcome back to the Radio Eastern Studios here on EFL Game Day. It's a chilly 10.6 degrees outside. A couple of AFL scores before we grab some EFL scores and then head back to the boys out at Bayswater Oval. Down at York Park it is Brisbane 4-2-26 leading Hawthorn 1-3-9 at quarter time. Tom Rockcliffe 17 possessions, answering all critics at quarter time. Smith has 9 possessions for Hawthorn. GWS and Carlton. GWS 3-7-25 at Spotless Stadium Trail. Carlton 3-8-26. That's 19 minutes gone in the second term. More importantly, back to more pressing issues at hand, and 4 games going on around the grounds, and it's Norwood currently 5-4-34 dominating, as you heard in that first term. Noble Park 1-2-8. Speaking of dominating performances, Doncaster 5-3-33 kicked against the Breeze in the first term. Croydon 1 behind 1 point, and Kilsyth in Division 4 2-3-15. Forest Hill 2 straight 12. Back to the boys out at Bayswater Oval.
Thank you very much, Dyson Baker. We are here at Bayswater Oval, Norwood 5-4-34, Noble Park 1-2-8. An exciting first term, but I think the thing that stood out for me there, Davo, was the difference in ball use is probably why the scoreboard looks the way it does.
Yeah, look, I think we've mentioned it a fair bit over the course of the first quarter, but Norwood were just so much cleaner with the football. Their hands they were so quick with their hands, good below their knees, whereas Noble they just didn't seem to have any fluency with the way they went. They made poor choices with their kicking. And yet I suppose, Foggers will be in there saying, we've played a really poor quarter of football, and I know we're 5 goals out, but I think we've got the Breeze in the next quarter, so we're a chance. So it's just about making sure they re-get their structures, get their ball on their hands, and don't panic as much as they've panicked in that first quarter.
They were able to manufacture 3 scores somehow, but you could not say that they look dangerous at all going inside 50.
No, we were just talking off air about the fact that their mobility, they're lacking in a little bit of mobility. They don't seem to have the structure up forward where it allows them to bring it in clearly. So they'll probably need to make a few changes, maybe get someone else into the middle, maybe Martin into the middle to do something, because at the moment he's given them nothing.
Grant Campbell, thanks to Chustap. First quarter numbers.
Clearances were pretty even in the end, 13-12 the way of Norwood. They dominated the contested ball though, 45-38, and particularly the uncontested possessions, 55-36. They had 10 more kicks and 25 more handballs. They did 16 inside 50s to 9, and also laid 8 forward 50 tackles to 2. Kyle Martin, no kicks, 2 handballs and 1 mark. So you can have 54 disposals in your last 5 quarters and you can say he's having a bad game.
It's true, he's coming off 50-odd touches and 5 goals and 9 marks last week, which is the sort of football that we'd come to expect of Kyle Martin this season, but he's having a quiet afternoon. Thanks to LifeCare, let's cross down Boundary side, thanks to Andy Paolacci.
Thank you, Paul. We've got Pete Muscat here, the assistant coach of the Norwood Football Club. Now, Pete, you've really caught them on the break a few times. They're employing that switch. Is that a key focus going into this game?
Well, I think the biggest thing is we need to, when we've got possession of the ball, utilise it effectively going forward, and we believe we're a lot quicker, so we want to get that forward transition across and go forward and straight to the forwards, kick the goals.
Yeah, I've noticed you've also had very fast entries, getting that ball in nice and quick and trying to create that one-on-one contest as well, and it's really working to a good effect so far.
Yeah, look, it has been. As I said, we believe that we're a lot quicker than them. We can outnumber them. We get that ball in that transition into that forward line, and we believe that we're really on top of them. So that's good.
Thanks again, Pete.
Boys, before you get underway in this second term, Mitcham 4-4-28, had 4 in the first 7 minutes, kept Templestowe scoreless to quarter time. So Tigers doing it all their own way, tracking into a grand final.
Thanks to LifeCare. Back down at boundary side. Damian Watson this time.
Well, Seymour, Noble Park coach Mick Fogarty was very animated at quarter time as he lamented the ball's disposal inefficiency. He implored his players to negate the spreading Norwood runners when they create the switch and to simply lift the work rate.
Damian Watson there. Mr. Scarf. One of the worst numbers I've ever seen. It's an awful scarf.
Cheap shot, Seymour.
As long as it's keeping your neck warm, I suppose it's getting the job
I think
done.
it's all right to turn around and say you've got to get the work rate up. If their work rate's up, it's their ball efficiency that is absolutely killing us.
Well, the rain has started again, so it'll be interesting to see if they do lift their efficiency considering these conditions. So it'll be certainly an interesting second term as far as the Bulls are concerned.
They do have somewhat of a slight breeze, and it looks like the Canterbury Road end is the scoring end here this afternoon, but back in the middle, ready to get underway here
for 1 quarter
in the second term. Manson and O'Sullivan doing battle in the ruck this time to start the second term. Noble Park inch forward, handball backwards, misses the target. That was from Keane. Kemperman through his legs. The Bulls unable to find any clean possession, picked up by Cruzeradis. Now the Norsemen have the ball going inside 50. Short kick, centre half forward. Ill-directed, chopped off by Sketcho, plays on straight away, kicks it back out wide in the direction of Martin over his head. Out in front of Davis Harrigan.
He got a possession.
Gets a touch, Harrison Football League photographer.
Only one behind Martin now.
Looking a treat too, Davis.
Yeah, as always, Manson and O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan gets the tap down, roves his own ball. Handball towards Dixon. No good. Tackle laid there by Timmy Harper. He needs to get into the game a bit more. He's a contested ball magnet, Timmy Harper, and that's his strength, but I haven't seen him on the bottom of too many packs so far in this one. Manson to Harper, as if on cue, but kick smothered. Jessop's the first one there, overruns the footy. Harper lays the tackle. Holmes, he's wrapped up as well. Another ball up. 34-8 here in the second term. Norwood started with all the running in the first quarter. Noble Park need to work hard to try and peg this back to get on level pegging and an even keel at half time.
I think this is a really important period here for Noble Park. They must hold for the first 10 minutes.
Yep, they can't afford to give up a couple of quick goals. Manson tries to burrow his way through.
He's been moved into the middle.
Yeah, well, interestingly, Fake and Wynn started off the game in the ruck, and the start of the second term was O'Sullivan and Manson. So we've seen two different ruck combinations to start both quarters here, and you'd think that Noble Park need a bit of Chuck Manson aggression. Handball to Gould from Norwood, misses its target. Quick kick forward, opportunistic out of the pack from Noble Park. Ball's in the middle of the ground. Gibson on hands and knees. Handballs to Holmes. Out wide to Declare. Brett Jordan across half back. Long kick in the Ava direction. He's gone to half forward. Big fist. Ball at ground level. Right in the middle of the turf wicket here at Bayswater Oval. Anderson, the Noble Park skipper,
good tackle.
Lays a fantastic tackle. Now they're going forward. Kemperman, Stewie Kemperman, bouncing ball over the head of Allen. Orwin though, comes out to meet it. Handballs to Keane. Running shot from 45. Kevin Keane. Oh, just to the right-hand side. One behind for the Bulls. 1-3-9 Noble Park. 5-4-34 the Norwood Footy Club. 2.5 minutes gone here in the second term.
Well, ball comes back into play. Picked up there by Declan. Little toe poke. Harper's about 60 metres out from goal. Strong tackle by Stewie Hill, the vice-captain, and we'll have a bounce 60 metres out from goal.
One thing I can say is that Noble's intent at the contest is a little bit better this last couple of minutes. So they're trying to get themselves back into this game.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Fake got the knockdown. The clearance was won by Holmes, though. Comes out towards the wing. Little kick in towards the middle of the ground.
Well done.
Stolen there by Cruzeradis on the right boot. Sends it goalward towards the Williams direction. He's up there with Peever right. They both players fell over in the end. A nice little knock on there by Williams. It eventually scoots out to Stewart, who just slams it home. That's end-to-end football. They did it pretty tough most of the way through, but they got their 6th goal on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, and that is goal number 2 to Darren Stewart. 6 goals, 40, plays 1-3-9, 4 minutes into the contest.
Doesn't matter how you get them, BWS and Davo. They had to work hard for that particular one, and once again, a turnover by Noble Park is killing them at the moment.
Going inside again. Terrible, terrible.
Cross down boundary side. Thanks to LifeCare, Andy Paolacci.
Yes, Demis Knight took stand upon his quarter-time team talk. He basically said, take the game on, use your leg speed, catch that defence off guard, and that's a classic example of how they did that just then.
Manson looking for Martin with the tap. Holmes is the first one there, but Martin kept his feet. Handball backwards. Handball again. Kyle Martin gets the old 1-2. Left foot kick inside 50. Old
Good
reverse
spot.
drop punt. It's come off. Teammates taking a mark at half forward. I think it's Shane Allen, or is it Sam Monahan? Sam Monahan.
Haven't seen much of him yet.
No.
He needs to get into the game.
Noble Park with 7 of the first 8 hit-outs this quarter, but the clearances 3 apiece.
Yeah, Chuck Manson, he's starting to throw his weight around. That's what you get with him. He's a big aggressive ruckman. He'll put his stamp on most contests. So Sam Monahan, 45-degree angle, will kick from 50, right on the paint. Kick looks pretty good. Has it got the legs? Oh, you bet it does. Sam Monahan, great kick. Bulls back in business.
They really needed that one. And that was a great kick. And that's the sort of kicking they need around the ground.
Noble Park are much better when they start running the ball. Rather than this chipping game, they're better off starting to run the lines like Norwood are and maybe trying to open up the back line of Norwood.
Quick response, Bendigo Bank scoreboard, Norwood 6-4-40, Noble Park 2-3-15, 25 points the margin, 5 minutes gone in the second term.
High throws it up. Manson just stole it out of the ruck and then thumped it inside forward 50, looking towards Alwyn over the top of him. Ava, nice little handball away, and now here's Jordan, who might have to bounce here, but it didn't work out for him. Goes after it again. Allen's right on his hammer. Alwyn, little handball over the top. Goes to Allen now on the left boot, just pokes it out towards the 30-metre mark. Creates a bit of a foot race. Charging in there was Declan. That was good hip and shoulder there on Keane. Ball hits the deck and will have a bounce about 40 metres out from Noble Park's goals.
That was fantastic football then. 3 contests in a row and no one took a backward step.
Comes down, stolen by Allen around the body. That's an absolute perler. Well, 2 goals in 2 minutes to Noble Park. Shane Allen gets his first goal on the board and certainly a contender for the Westfield Knox goal of the day. 3-3-21. They're trailing by 19 points. The Bulls 6-4-40. The Norsemen.
That was poetry. Vergum faked straight down the throat of Shane Allen. Left foot kick, make no mistake. That was sensational.
And it's been their attack on the contest. I think that's been the difference, is that they're going to get it down there no matter which way they can. It's not pretty at the moment, but it's effective.
And all of a sudden the margin's back to 19 points. It all seems very gettable for the Bulls. Manson into some space. Anderson cuts back in board, gets around a couple of tackles. He's got a bit of space, Craig Anderson. Long kick inside forward 50, looking for Alwyn and Cody. Goes over the back. Norwood through Ava. Right foot kick up to half forward. Bouncing ball. Now the Bulls looking good here, Noble Park. Cody again. Too much handball though, and ball's chopped off. It's O'Sullivan. Handballs to Johnson. Into the direction of Stewart. He's already kicked 2 goals. 1 in this second term. Goes wide to Williams, who had Wright absolutely cooked, but the kick from Stewart
Still
landed
alive.
2 metres short. Manson picks it up. Handballs to Wilson. Strong kick out to the wing, like a bullet to Luke Cody.
Manson's been the difference.
Yeah.
Been the difference the last 10.
He's working his backside off to get his side back into the game here.
Both sides playing the far boundary here. The kick from Cody found Ziggy Orwin.
Norwood have got a good block zone happening.
Yep, Jared Plyman. Just backward of centre to the half-forward flank. Making some good space and taking a strong mark is Sam Monahan. The kick from Plyman was good. Not a lot of movement inside 50. Goes to the pocket. Couldn't find his target. Allen. I think that's out on the full. Not sure whose boot it was off though. It was off the boot of Shane Allen, so it'll be a free kick to Norwood. Be taken by Matty Ava. No. Throws it over to Stewie Hill. Or Gibson.
Yeah, it's not Stewie Hill. Comes out, door over the back, but it'll be paid to the man in front, I think, here.
No,
No,
it can't. That's a clear Noble. No, he has paid it. No, yeah, Noble Park.
Giving it back.
No, give it back.
Yeah, clear mark. Great strong jukes.
So Dorr taking a few marks already today.
Good match-up between him and Stewart.
He's got loads of talent. And then he goes and does kicks like that. Slams it straight into the arms of Point, and who's wrapped up quickly by Anderson.
I reckon I could have kicked it better than that. And that's saying something. That was terrible.
And your son definitely could have.
Oh, no doubt about that.
Comes out. Anderson went through, Kemperman went through his legs, came out Jordan, little handball, and now they might be able to link out wide here through Gibson in the middle. He was looking for Holmes, who was under a lot of pressure. Sketcher came charging through, but as Tootie Calder, who copped one on the chin, the umpire said play on. Kick there by Holmes was smothered. Had another go at it as well. Comes out towards Gibson. He saw it in the peripheral vision. I have faith in
kick.
that.
Yeah, give him some credit. That's a smart piece of football.
Adam Gibson asked to go on with it now, so he sends it up towards the half-forward line, and going up and almost unopposed in the end was the big ruckman John O'Wynn. He had Williams right on his hammer as well, so the two big men there. In comes Gould, who kicks it inside forward 50. Anderson had the front spot. It was knocked away, picked up there by Dixon's handball, went nowhere. It's about 40 metres out from goal. Williams is there. Tim Harper for Noble Park lays a good tackle and will have a bounce right on the paint 50 metres out from Norwood's goal.
I'm really liking Noble's intent at the moment. I reckon they've really got themselves back into the game.
It's gone up a notch.
Croydon fans will be nervous around the grounds. 45 points the margin. Doncaster had kicked the first two of the second quarter.
Oh, short passes on. It might be chopped off nicely here. They'll have a shot on goal. It's as easy as you like. And the goal has been kicked by Lachlan Dixon.
Lee Williams, it was number 3.
Third goal on the board.
Interesting enough, Dean Poynton just walked off, lopped off the ground there. Looked like he favoured a leg, so get the boundary riders to have a look at that for us.
Poor again from Noble Park. The left foot kick from Dore looked like it was going to hit the spot, but it was just smothered at the last moment. Picked up by Darren Stewart, who put Lee Williams into a bit of space. And the big fellas kicked 3 goals, 2 of them from a roving sort of scenario, which is fantastic. But Noble Park back in the middle of the ground, go inside 50 through Stewie Kemperman. Long left foot kick that's going to bounce over the back. Matty DeClerc kicks to Luke Mann. His right foot kick goes out of bounds on the full.
It was almost a kick in hope, wasn't it, Dave?
He had more time and more space than he thought, Luke Mann. Noble Park's pressure inside 50 was good enough to ensure that Matty DeClerc turned the ball over, but it's got to finish those ones. It could have been the quick reply and back to 19 points, which is probably where it deserves to be after Noble Park had come out swinging in this second term.
I'd try something different.
25 points.
I'd put Alwyn, I'd put him in the back half, and I'd put Dore up forward. I'd change them both because Alwyn can go with the centre half forward quite easily with Stewart, and Dore will at least give them a target that he can go to because Alwyn's given them nothing at the moment.
It's a free kick to Luke Mann, about 70 metres out from goal, hard up against the boundary line. Goes to Plyman, kicks centimetre perfect. Plyman, sorry. Takes a mark at rises over McCubbin.
Good kick.
Yeah, to Orwin, spot on the
There
lead. Strong lead by Ziggy Orwin. Good kick, good mark. Out in front of the scoreboard. Just worse than a 45-degree angle. He'll try and put his second on the board and the 4th one for the Bulls.
Still a hard task from where he's going to kick it. You know, you want your forwards kicking more straighter than this.
All 5 centre clearance have gone the way of Noble Park this quarter.
Certainly gained ascendancy. The fluoro boots of Ziggy Orwin. They've already put one through in the first term. Can he cut the margin back to 19 points? It doesn't look like it with that effort. What's Lee Williams doing at fullback? Luke Mann drops a mark. Handball over the top. Shane Allen trying to suit his left foot. Handball straight to Matty Ava. And it looks like the Norwood Footy Club are going to be good enough to rebound this.
And here's Johnson in the middle of the ground. They could have raffled it there. Over the top there, O'Sullivan goes after it. Umpire said play on. There was some harsh tackling there done by Zach McCubbin, but
he shouldn't have gone for the mark and he should have let it go. And they were away, but he tried to duck him for an easy one.
It's not an easy task to bring down Trent Robertson. Giving it, don't argue, there was Plyman out wide to Anderson, who had the nous to get rid of it quickly, but Cruzeratis mopped up nicely there with Brett Jordan, and now the Norsemen go up towards the O'Sullivan direction, stolen there by Dore. It got ripped off by O'Sullivan. Coming in there was Robinson. Brought to ground in a strong tackle by Justin Gould, and will have a bounce right near the boundary line, which is where we'll cross down to now, thanks to LifeCare, Andy Paolacci.
Yeah, BWS, Dean Poynton just copped a knock on the right knee. The physio is assessing the structural damage of it. He seems to be okay, and he signalled that he wants to come back on the ground.
Yeah, he looks pretty eager. Anderson, also someone who's been quite eager today. A couple of little potokes. See Norwood get up towards the... what was it?
What's a potoke?
Oh dear. I've got nothing. Over the football win. Comes in. Kelly over the back. we'll have a bounce just outside the centre square here, far side of Bayswater Oval. Norwood lead this one by 25 points.
I think one of the big things at the moment is just Norwood are just playing with a little bit more poise.
Monaghan got slung, dropped the football. Umpire said okay. Ambrose dives in after it again. Kelly underneath as always, and we'll have a bounce.
They're just doing enough to make sure they keep the lead as it is. They haven't played as good a footy as what they did in the first quarter, but Noble have actually lifted this quarter.
Win got the knockdown inside forward 50 through Semertzidis. His kick went straight down the throat of Brett Daw, who just wanted to get on with it in the end. Sketcher on the right boot, had a little bit of time, and it was a solid kick out wide. Sam Monaghan takes the mark across half back.
Is that a good patch?
Short passes on Collis.
He's tried hard, Collis.
Yeah, he had a good few touches in the first term. It had to be a centimetre perfect kick, and it was. Harper takes the mark. Plimman screaming for it on the far side of the ground. Steady elects to go short. Back to Monaghan. So Noble Park looking for the next score. Risky kick, looking for Martin. Had the class to win the football, but his kick was smothered in the end. It might bounce favourably here for Keeley and might be able to use the middle of the ground here. Kelly coughed it up in the end. Strong tackle. And Norwood will have the free kick. Zach McCubbin in the centre. He's got O'Sullivan up forward at centre half forward. A little bit of back chat might have gone on here because a 25-metre penalty's been paid. So
when your side's 25 points down, shouldn't be allowed to be back-chatting at this stage.
Might be a little bit too far out to score. Zach McCubbin.
Might have a crack.
The odds are to go short, and when Leroy Williams is on the lead, you kick it to him, and that's exactly what he did there. Just travelled the required distance, and he'll go back to kick goal number 4.
That's where you've got a forward who made a Paul Cook kick look good then, because that was a terrible kick. And he just scooped it and could goal from it, which would be another turnover from Noble Park in the middle.
To stretch the lead to over 5 goals. Well, he went for a barrel in the end. It was pretty ordinary, and Noble Park will get the chance to get the clearing kick out wide. Here's Kemperman. It bounces favourably for him, and now on the left boot just kicks it straight down the throat there of Dean Boyden. You would have thought eventually the ball spills out wide. Trapped there by Newman, who couldn't keep it in, fell over at the crucial stage, and we'll have a boundary throw in right in front of our LifeCare boundary riders.
Yeah, BWS, Dean Boyden, he's back on the ground, but he's still grimacing, still trying to shake off that right knee injury. I don't know how long he'll be out there for.
Lee Williams attempted torp. Was that the same side of the ground as Jeff Goebels a couple of years ago?
No, Jeffrey was down here.
Okay. Noble Park, Plimman picks the ball up off the back of the stoppage, tries to get through a couple of tackles. It was, spun him around. Jake Ford will be the recipient of a free kick. So he's in the direction of McCormack. Is he going to get there? He did get there, but couldn't bring the mark down. Oh, copping one high, but umpire calls play on. That was Stewie Hill. And again, umpire in position A, but must have swallowed his whistle. Eventually decides to ball it up. Win gets the tap. Anderson, kick smothered, picked up by Rhett Jordan, kick around the corner, all Bulls. Marked by Jake Wilson.
Maybe conditions are playing a part to this, because really both teams have been pretty average for the last 10 minutes with it in all facets of their game except for their tackling.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been
sloppy.
Certainly more go than woe. Luke Mann takes a mark on centre wing. Slow, methodical sort of build-up from Noble Park here. They're still trailed by 25 points.
They need 2 goals.
Kick to Daw. Handballs. Left foot kick to centre half forward. Chopped up by Ava.
He's played well.
He has.
Yeah, after he made that mistake early on, he's been really, really solid. And he kicks the ball.
Yeah, long driving kick. Up to no one in particular. Jessup is going to rove this one. Handball to Johnny Holmes, who handballs to Lee Williams. He's got a little bit of space. Right foot kick around the corner. Chris Aradis is going to mark this one inside the boundary line.
That is really clever.
And he does. Just
on all counts.
Put a bit of air on it, did Lee Williams, and just kicked it into the space and let Jaden Chris Aradis run onto it. He started off like a bull at a gate, this young fella, Jaden Chris Aradis. Was best on ground at quarter time for mine. Hard up against the boundary line in 2 minds. Should open it up and come around with the bunana here, and that's what he does, but far too skinny. Never looked on target. That minus score, 7-5-47 Norwood, 3-3-21 Noble Park. 31-point margin here, 18, almost 19 minutes gone in the second term. Anderson in the back pocket. Goes to Dorr, who's getting his hands on the footy a bit this term. His usage is still left a little bit to be desired, but he's got the first box ticked. He's getting his hands on it. Takes a bounce for no apparent reason. The ball doesn't come back to him. What's dragged down in a tackle? Good enough here, the Bulls. Cleaned up. Left foot kick to centre half back. Mark taken by Keeley. Plays on immediately. He's got Orwin in a one-on-one against Ambrose. Orwin wins out. Gibson joins in support, but Orwin bounces like a cat. Picks up, turns the ball around. Kick to Allen on the lead.
Got to kick this goal.
He certainly does. He's taken the mark 40 metres out directly in front. And for mine, Dover, that's a hallmark of Division 1 footy. 15 metre, 20 metre short kicks to short leads.
Just a beautifully weighted kick then, and he, that's where he shows his class. So now he's really got to nail this goal. Puts him right back in it.
Yep, had a one-on-one. It was a two-on-one against him, Orwin, and was good enough to get the kick to Allen, whose left foot shot on goal is just coming back. Didn't quite make the distance, so a couple of set shots at that end for Noble Park in this quarter. Haven't quite made it. 3-4-22, plays 8-4-52, just ticked into time on in the second term, and even 5 goals the margin here, Division 1 qualifying final Norwood with all the running.
Grant Campbell, thanks to Choose Match Stats.
Inside 50s, 10-8 in favour of Noble Park this quarter. The clearances are their way, 9-7, including 5 out of the centre.
Free kick to the big man, Chuck Manson, from the kick in. So he'll have it about 50 metres out. You could see him just looking for the handball there. And Stewie Kemperman, he's your link man in that type of position, but he can't break free. So the short passes on towards the Elwyn direction. It was knocked away from him. He might get another go at it here. Over the top there, Johnson. Keane was in there also. He might have copped one high. The umpire said he did. He's a little player, so he can get away with it a lot more. Handball to Elwyn. Had a little bit of time, just pops it up in hope. About 40 metres out from goal. Can Harper scoop on it? McCubbin was in there. Plymouth gave the don't argue little handball out wide. Here's Allen on the left boot. Can he squeeze it back? He can't. 2 points in a matter of minutes. And Noble Park, they're peppering, but they can't find the big sticks on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 21 minutes into the second term, and we have a 29-point margin.
We certainly do. How's the hands from Plymouth there? Just released Allen into some space. I think Allen did kick that 8 or 9 times out of 10. Kick from Norwood to a contest. It's coming straight back inside. Noble Park got to be good enough to manufacture a shot on goal. It's Allen. He runs around the footy, picks it up, curls back, a left foot cracker. Great goal from Shane Allen. His second of the second term, and they've both almost been carbon copies of each other. He's a seriously good footballer. Fresh off 7 last week against the Dales. He kicked 2 here on qualifying final day. The Bulls won't go away.
And that's exactly right. They won't go away. They just keep tackling, keep pressuring, and now Norwood falling into the same problems. Their use of the football hasn't been as good in the last 10 minutes.
No.
Around the grounds, thanks to the local Burger Co. 48 points now the margin at Tormore Reserve. Doncaster lead. Kilsyth lead by a goal at half-time at Walker Park. And Templestowe finally kicked their first through Fiorenza. So they lead by 21 points. Trail, I should say.
Yes.
What's the go here?
Can't seem more
Free
excited.
kick. It's a free kick somewhere along the line where...
I think it might be a free kick to Dean Poynton.
No, I think it might be coming back to Ford.
So Jakey Ford goes out wide. That's okay. Here's Dixon on the... Well, got it back in. Poynton now turned himself into a bit of trouble. Just slams it on the boot inside the danger zone where standing in position A was Jake Wilson, who switches it out wide. It was a good kick too. The mark's been taken by a man, and now they'll work themselves up towards the wing position where Dorr takes it on the left, just spears it into the middle. Well, it had to hit the target eventually. Keane came in, gave his own little don't argue there. Handball over the top. Jordan will be the first man to meet it for the Norseman. Had a little bit of time, had a little bit of space, switches it out towards Jake Ford, who kicks it in towards the middle of the ground, and Stewie Hill takes the mark, so it's in safe hands. He's got Stewart across the face if he wants him. Instead, he's only got eyes forward, and what a way to go as well, because Rhett Jordan made some good space. He takes it. He's about 80 metres out from goal. Can Norwood get the answer after Noble Park have owned the last 5 minutes? A kick towards the Williams direction over the back. Manson, he has a little bit of time for Noble Park. He got the ball away somehow. Cody just couldn't quite trap it. Now the Norseman will get a chance. McCubbin, his little handball back to Holmes. This way, that way. The skipper might be able to thump one home here. He sets sail. He pushes it to the right-hand side. It might be stay alive there, Jessup. The umpire comes in and is going to play a free kick to Matty McCormick for getting pushed off the ball. He'll be kicked from a very tight angle. Exciting stuff.
It was.
Well, he was actually pushed mid-flight. He was going for the ball. It was sort of like a mini tunnel.
Former Baronia Hawk.
Matty McCormick.
It's a left foot, he
should kick it.
Yeah, he'll run out. He'll curl it around and he'll kick it straight over the goal umpire's head. That's his first goal of the afternoon, Matty McCormick. And on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, Norwood now have 8, and they like having that little bit of breathing space too. 24.5 minutes gone. 8-4-52 plays 4-5-29.
Won't let him kick 2 in a row.
No. And it seems that, again, it just every time that Noble have a poor disposal out of defence, Norwood are really hurting them, whereas I don't think Noble have really hurt Norwood for some of their poor work up forward. I'd still put I'd put
Brett
Dorr up forward because he's getting plenty of it.
Yeah.
He's just turning it over in the back half all the time.
Certainly is. Manson just grabs the ball out of the ruck. Left foot kick around the corner. Cody got the ball spoiled by Keane. Kevin Keane, another shot on goal in the second term. This one worse than the first one. Way left. Way left. Out of bounds on the full. But they're dominating out of the centre, still the Bulls. Not quite sure what's going on with the scoreboard. Now it reached 23 points. Right foot kick to the half-back flank. Strong mark by Matty DeClerc. Strong pack mark out in front. He's got McCubbin further on. Ignores that.
Strong lead by McCubbin.
Just going to go to win. Jordan, McCormack, a big pack of Norsemen. They all end up spoiling each other. Ball stays in. Not for long, though. Johnny Holmes takes it out of bounds. Norwood skipper. Norwood premiership skipper. Manson and Wynn. Another poor throw in. But Manson punches it forward. No one there for Noble Park, though. Poynton to Gibson. Handballs across halfback. Handball smothered. Picked up by Anderson of Noble Park. Gets around one tackle. Handballs to Orwin.
Got to hit the target.
Yeah, and he does too. Right foot stabbing ball. Low kick inside 50 to Kyle Martin on the lead.
They have to kick this goal. To me, they need this goal on the stroke of half-time to give them a little glimmer of hope. 26 minutes gone, and Kyle Martin is about 48 metres out. He'll end up kicking from about 51.
Players have struggled from distant shots this afternoon.
Yeah.
They certainly have. Kyle Martin's had a brilliant season for the Bulls. Looks like it's going to have the legs. It's just a question of accuracy. And he pushes it to the right-hand side. So 4-6-30 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Noble Park. Norwood 8-4-52, 22 points. The margin here at Bayswater Oval.
And the skipper wanted the kick in, take charge as the siren sounds to announce half-time out here at Bayswater Oval. Division 1 finals are underway, and it's the Norwood Football Club on top. 8-4-52 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. They lead by 22 over Noble Park, who have kicked 4 goals, 6-30. Major goal kickers on the board. Rain there?
Lee Williams has 3. Shane Allen has 2 for Noble Park, and Darren Stewart also has 2 for Norwood.
Absolutely all over it. 98.1 Radio Eastern is the place to be. Otherwise on efl.org.au, but you can do both. You can also tweet us the scores if you're around the grounds today at Footy EFL via Twitter. Let's go back to the Radio Eastern studios. Dyson Baker will have all those important around the ground scores right after this.
John always said his set would be different. He wasn't wrong. He was a fun-loving guy who had a passion for flying. So last week, John's family and closest friends celebrated his life on a charter flight over the Yarra Valley. They took in the breathtaking views, enjoyed a glass of bubbles, and told lots of stories.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, our motto is, if it's legal, it's possible. So celebrate your life the way you want. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Program sponsor. Hey man, can you smell it? Smell what? It's my favourite smell in the world. Footy season. Yeah man, like you can smell the grass at the Mighty G. Yeah, and you know what else I can smell? The hot marshmallow chocolate at Pancake Parlour. They're like my favourite smells ever. Like first you head to the G and smell the grass, and then after you've chewed your guts out, head straight to Pancake Parlour and warm up with a delicious hot marshmallow chocolate. It's made with pure Belgian chocolate, seriously decadent. Oh, Pancake Parlour, open 24 hours, High Point, Malvern and Doncaster East. Lovely.
Program sponsor.
Ladies and gentlemen, Flight 57 is now boarding through gate.
Hi,
Hi, where the hell are you? We're boarding soon.
I'm still looking for a car park.
Oh, I told you to park at A1. They park it for you.
Choose A1 Airport Parking and avoid the risk of missing your flight. With the A1 Express shuttles, you're at the terminal in 5 minutes. A1 guarantees no risk parking, 24-hour face-to-face service and security. Remember, you don't park at A1 because we park it for you. A1airportparking.com.au.
EFL.org.au is a must-visit for the die-hard Eastern Football League fan. In our news section, check out the latest news, feature articles and video programs, including the Inside Football Friday preview. Have your say in the EFL poll. Check out all the latest EFL videos. Best of all, you can listen back to any EFL radio program at any time. To go live and local for your footy, head to EFL.org.au.
Welcome back to the Radio Eastern studios here in Croydon. Half-time around the grounds of the Eastern Football League, 11.2 degrees right across the eastern suburbs. A few interesting results coming through as we go around the grounds. Kilsyth only managing to score 1 goal to Forest Hill's 3 points, sees them lead by a goal. Kilsyth 3-3-21 lead Forest Hill 2-3-15. Those sides playing for a shot in next week's grand final. Doncaster 7-7-49 lead Croydon 2 behinds, 2 points. A dominant display from the ladder leading Sharks at the moment. They're doing all their own way. We'll keep you updated as we get the score from Mitcham Templestowe. We'll head back for the halftime show, all brought to you by the Pie Shed.
Thank you very much, Dyson Baker. This is, of course, the Pie Shed halftime show, as you mentioned, out here on the spot at Bayswater.
And simply their efficiency improved. Having said that, they did miss some opportunities. I felt there was a 5-minute period late in that second term where they had the opportunity to kick a couple of goals to reduce that margin and really make it a competitive game just before, on the cusp of half-time. I just felt they missed that opportunity.
I think it's they haven't, I mentioned it on the call, they haven't been able to kick consecutive goals. From what you've seen, do you think that they're actually capable of doing such a thing, or Norwood just seem to be that little step above?
Well, they're both similar sides in the way they play their football and their certain styles and the way they go about it. Knowing Noble Park and their characteristics, I think we can expect them to lift in this third term, make one real large push in the second half before Norwood have the opportunity, and their character will be tested to see if they can hang on and kick away from their opposition.
Brash, it was obvious that Noble Park, after quarter time, decided that playing on at all costs would be the order of the day. I mean, a few times down in their defensive 50, guys like Brett Dorr and Jake Wilson, they took marks or gathered the football and wasted no time in dishing handballs left, right, running down the ground and kicking long and things like that. So it's sort of a faster footy, which meant that they were able to become competitive again. What do they need to do to turn that competitiveness into snatching back this 4-goal deficit?
Well, I think Nick Folks is going to have to throw caution to the Wolves here. Paul, I think he might have to make a couple of changes just to tweak the line-up a bit. Maybe put Brett Daw down a centre-half forward, you know, provide a bit of a target, because he's certainly able to get his hands on the ball. And he can take good marks. Just his kicking efficiency at the moment just is probably letting him down. They've also got to try and find a way of getting Kyle Martin and Sam Monaghan, they're two of their really key on-ballers. They've got to try and find a way of getting them into the game, because the Norwood midfield just seem to be able to snuff any sort of influence that they have out of the game.
What about from a Norwood point of view? Obviously, they've done something to be up by 23 points. Early on, I just thought it was their use of the football, that real quick sort of transportation of that air conveyance, as Rex Hunt would say, via the use of handball and quick distribution.
And what about their half-back line too, Brash?
Yeah, the Norwood half-back line has been outstanding. Just a couple of things I noticed about 10... When Noble Park started to win contested ball, I just thought there for a while there that Norwood were just trying to play too cute. That odd handball, you know, that odd handball to, you know, to try and make something out of nothing. That, all right, it did come off in the first quarter, but sometimes the law of averages says that if you stray too much from what you did in the past, it's going to come back to bite you. And there was a couple of occasions where they were caught on the turnover, but unfortunately for Noble Park, they just were not able to capitalise on it.
Yeah, spot on. It's almost been a sort of a game of two halves so far. One half was a Norwood absolute sort of dominance, and the next half was just a competitive game of football. So the challenge is for Noble Park to try and arrest. 23 points the margin here. Over at Walker Park in Mitcham, I believe the Kilsyth Footy Club have a slender lead at Forest Hill at half-time. A man on the spot there this afternoon is Will Taylor. Yes. Wilbur, what's the half-time score out at Mitcham?
Yeah, it's a great game out here at Walker Park. I don't know what you're missing out here, because Kilsyth are leading by 1 goal. Kilsyth 3-3-21, Forest Hill 2-3-15, and been a great first half. Started off really focused for both teams, and Ash Nolte and Matt Carnelli has got the goals for Forest Hill, while Josh McDonough, I tell you what, the goal he scored was amazing. It came late in that second quarter, and it just dribbled all the way from 60 metres out when he kicked it, threw it all the way to the goals, to the White Horse Road end, and it was going against the flow of play, because we didn't think we were going to get a goal at all in that second quarter.
Well, but what's the actual score? It doesn't sound like there's been a lot of goals kicked, which is strange out at Walker Park.
Yeah, look, well, the margin is 6 points at the moment, 3-3 to 2 goals 3, so 21 to 15
5
scores
goals.
here, Seymour.
How's Sherlock?
Yes.
How's Sherlock going, Willie?
Yeah, Sherlock, he's been manned up really hard there by Gareth Britton at the moment, and he's got in a couple of times holding the ball, but also I think he's been caught around the play a couple of times today, Sherlock, so it'd be interesting to see how he fares in the second half. I still think at the moment, feels like it's playing on their terms at the moment, right?
Now we know, Wilbur, that Kilsyth have an imposing forward line. We've spoken about Sherlock. Have Forest Hill undertaken a measure to double team a lot of their key targets?
You're definitely right there, Damo. I think the main plan there for Forest Hill is to double team inside Port City. They're trying to fly back as much as they could, but the reason why Kilsyth didn't get in the goal is it's really through the fast break thrown from the back line all the way to the forward line, which even Forest Hill napping a couple of times. So it'll be interesting to see if Forest Hill can resurrect that, or Kilsyth can get in that flow and play the running game.
Wilbur, is Kane Magamez playing in the seniors, or did he come back into the seniors this week? I know he played twos last week.
No, he is definitely not playing today at all, Timor. So that is going to be a big blow for Forest Hill. And at this stage, Timor, I think they really do need him on the ground, just to have that leadership and win that midfield battle, because they're getting absolutely caught in the crevices at the moment.
Has it been an even game, or Kilsyth with a 6-point lead probably that's flatters Forest Hill a bit, or has it really been an even game?
No, Timor, it's been an absolutely even game here. It is still up in the air right now. And it's just,
where's your money?
I think, look, if I had to call it now, I would say Kilsyth probably just go over the top in the last couple of minutes.
Okay, and you're on the BGC Bayswater post-match show to tell us all about how it finished up at the end of the day?
Absolutely, looking forward to telling everyone all about it on the Radio Eastern Airways.
Fantastic, Wilbur. Great work from you. Enjoy the second half.
Thank you very much, people.
Will Taylor, a man on the spot at Kilsyth. Yes, Wayne Brasher?
I'm absolutely astounded, and I mean genuinely astounded that Forest Hill can have a key playmaker playing twos football on probably the most important game of the football year for that football club. How can Kay McGarmas be playing in twos football? I'm sorry, but
we're talking about a two-time James medalist, a Division 4 Premiership player.
absolutely gobsmacked that he's actually playing twos football.
It's staggering. There's no second chance for the loser here. It is. It's absolutely staggering. More so than the fact that there's only been 5 goals kicked in a half of footy at Mitcham, Damo.
Well, maybe I suppose the conditions have some sort of influence. What do you think the reason is behind McGarmas? I suppose we can speculate all we want.
Apparently, Davo actually spoke about it pre-game, now that I remember. He only had managed one handball in the game last week, so he didn't get his hands on the footy. But
he wasn't the only player last week for Forest Hill that hardly touched the ball.
I tell you what, though, Brash, if the bloke who came up from the tours to take his spot would want to be playing a pretty bloody good game of footy.
Well, the thing is,
at the moment, I mean, like I said, it's a 5-goal game. You know, really, and I reckon this is playing right into Kilsyth's hands because I thought at the start of the game that Kilsyth height would really worry Forest Hill, and I still think that's going to come to play in the second half.
So that's a score at Walker Park. Kilsyth by a goal out here at Bayswater, 23-point lead to Norwood. Leads to Croydon and Mitcham at East Burwood and Boronia respectively. You're listening to the halftime show thanks to the Pie Shed. Dyson Baker's back in the Radio Eastern studios. We'll throw back to him, but keep your dial locked in right here on 98.1 FM Radio Eastern, the home of the Eastern Football League.
How would you like your coffin to look?
I think maybe my wedding photo would look good.
Like HMAS Melbourne. I spent the best years of my life on that ship.
Oh, a picture of me and kids from when I was younger and they were babies.
Lots of pretty flowers.
Well, at Tobin Brothers Funerals, anything is possible, including a custom-designed and decorated coffin to celebrate your life. To find out more, visit tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Program sponsor. Good news, boys. It's 20% off to travel on Eastlink on weekends and public holidays with a car tax. So, with the money you'll save, you'll have enough.
Enough for what, Coach?
My birthday present next week. And I have my eye on some sparkly gold footy boots with some pandas on them.
Get a breeze tag and use Eastlink, the quickest way to get around Melbourne's East. Arrive fresher, play better. Eastlink, it's time better spent.
In sparkly boots.
Program sponsor.
Hey, man. It's crunch time. Is that footy speak? Nah, man, it's crunch time at Pancake Parlour with a salted caramel crunch.
Oh, yeah, house-made warm salted caramel sauce and roasted almonds on 2 buttermilk pancakes topped with vanilla ice cream.
Yeah, man, it's crunch time at the G and then it's crunch time at Pancake Parlour.
So this is footy speak then?
I'm just saying, man, like the salted caramel crunch would be great to have after a day at the footy.
Oh, Pancake Parlour open 24 hours, High Point, Malvern and Doncaster East.
Lovely.
Program sponsor.
For the best EFL rap on radio, don't miss EFL Sunday, thanks to Crocs Play Centres. From 10 till 2 every Sunday morning, the EFL media team bring you all the final scores, goal kickers, best players and ladders following a big round of EFL footy. The gang talk to winning coaches, players and special guests to bring you the final scores from all the seniors, reserves and under-19 matches. EFL Sunday, going live and local for your footy from 10 every Sunday morning on 98.1 Radio Eastern.
Ladies and gentlemen, Flight 57 is now boarding through gate.
Hi, where the hell are you? We're boarding soon.
I'm still looking for a car park.
Oh, I told you to park at A1. They park it for you.
Choose A1 Airport Parking and avoid the risk of missing your flight. With the A1 Express shuttles, you're at the terminal in 5 minutes. A1 guarantees no risk parking, 24-hour face-to-face service and security. Remember, you don't park at A1 because we park it for you. A1airportparking.com.au.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Yes, welcome back everybody. 23 points the margin out here at Bayswater Oval. The first qualifying final in Division 1. 8-5-53 Norwood, 4-6-30 Noble Park. We saw a comeback or fight back of sorts from the Bulls who were able to even things up in the second term. they've got to find a way to get rid of this 4-goal deficit up until three-quarter time as both sides make their way back onto the playing arena to start the second half. We're not too far away. Brett Davidson, we spoke to blue in the face about the poor foot skills of the Noble Park Footy Club in the first half. It seemed like the back half of that second term, they arrested some of those demons. They're on their way to clawing their way back into it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, look, they are clawing their way back into it. On the back of Manson in the ruck, he was sensational. I thought that quarter in the ruck gave him first use of the ball. Their pressure on the ball carrier was much, much better. They still turned the ball over when they had the footy, but Norwood didn't hurt them as much, and that was because Norwood's outside running dropped away a little bit. They didn't spread as well as what they did in the first quarter. They tried to spread with their hands and not with their feet. So they were having a situation where they were going 2 and 3 and 4 handballs and looking a bit cute, was what we termed it.
Paul, when we did the interleague game in the very first game of the year, right, and Chucky Manson, he basically played on ball all day.
It was awesome.
And he got better as the game kept going on. I really reckon Noble Park really don't have any choice now. He must play on ball for the second half completely.
The thing with Chuck Manson is there's no way known you could describe him as an impact player. If he's going to grind out a good game of footy, he needs to play 4 quarters on the ball, throw his weight around, and really grind his opponent into the dirt and get on top of him that way. Noble Park have enough impact players, guys like Martin and Allen and Alwyn, who when they have been, we've seen it. Alwyn's created, Shane Allen's kicked 2 himself. Martin's manufactured some shots on goal when he has touched the footy. I think for Noble Park, they've just got to concentrate on getting the ball into the hands of their superstars, because you've got to back your superstars in to do superstar stuff. If they do superstar stuff, you win finals, don't you, Grant Campbell? Thanks to Tuesday.
They do, and Kyle Martin only the 6 disposals to half-time. He really needs to find a lot more of the ball. And they also need to give it to him when he calls for it, because there are a few occasions where he was there for an easy handball and they overshot it by 5 metres. So he needs to find it, but they need to find him too.
You're right there, Grant, because he came off midway through the second quarter and he looked actually quite exasperated with the team's performance. In fact, he was walking to the dugout and he looked a bit bewildered, Davo.
Yeah, I actually noticed the same thing. He just looked, what's going on here during that quarter, and I just want them to do something a bit different. I want them to change something a bit different, because they can't just say, look, we can play contested football and be 17 points down and then lose by 12 points. They've got to try and win a game of footy and do something to win that game.
They've got to go for broke here. The first 10 minutes, they need the first 2 goals. They got to get the first 2 goals.
Just trying to locate Kyle Martin. I can't quite see him. If anyone spots him, let me know where he is.
He's in the guts.
He's in the
midfield.
guts. He's hiding behind Chuck Manson, who goes up against Johnny Wynn. Another centre clearance to Noble Park to start the second half. And Shane Allen at centre half forward takes a strong mark, wheels around on the left boot, ill-directed kick. In a bit of space is Cody, who stabs a rifle ball towards goal, but in the goal square, Ziggy Orwin, all on his own, takes a mark. He'll kick the first one in the second half for the Bulls. Cut the margin back just to 17 points, which would be almost in the realms of highway robbery for Noble Park.
But you just said it was Manson straight down to Martin, and Martin cleared it, and Alwyn's taken a good mark.
He has, and he's pumped that one straight onto the mountain highway. Big kick, big goal for Ziggy Orwin. He's kicked his second of this final. Noble Park 5-6-36. Norwood 8-5-53 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Gentlemen, we could have a game on our hands.
Exactly what the doctor ordered here for Noble Park. They've come out with intent, and they're not going to take this lying down. Now the challenge has been issued to Norwood. They've got to respond and respond as well as they did in the first quarter.
I think one of the issues is this clearance out of the middle, and Noble is certainly on top of them. I think the end of the last quarter, they were pretty good as well, weren't they?
The last 10 minutes, Chuck Manson was really having a big influence in the game.
The centre clearances?
That's 7 out of the last 8, so that's since quarter time. So certainly Manson having a big impact, and he's had a couple himself, just kicks as well as his dominance in the ruck in terms of hit-outs.
Numbers are important, but when you can start telling those things with the naked eye watching a game of football, you know it's bad. And there's another one. Harper gets the handball to Anderson, whose kick inside forward 50 was looking for Orwin. He's bumped off the ball, good enough to get back to his feet, couldn't pick it up on the second attempt. Handball out to Ava, kick smothered. Boundary line looks like it's going to beat all comers, and that's exactly what it does. Eventually, no, still in somehow. So players scrapping and finding. Dean Poynton on the bottom of the pack.
Well done there to Ziggy. Kept the ball in the forward line and he battled manfully to hold the Norwood defence right up.
Well, he's ended up with a free kick to Dean Poynton, who's come up from the bottom of the pack with the Sharon. All thanks to the umpire. Kick to centre wing, big pack. Ava couldn't take the mark. Manson, like a rugby player, just tries to form a way through. He gets the handball forward into some space. Right foot kick around the corner from Anderson inside 50. Push in the back. Free kick, Noble Park. Advantage paid. Ziggy Allman's got 3. The Bulls are back in business. 11 points the margin here. Great start to the third term. Great start to the second half, Noble Park.
It's all on the back of the bald man in the middle.
Yeah.
He's taken the game apart by himself. He's a bit like the Shaquille O'Neal, isn't he?
Yes.
He does all the hard work, just don't give him the ball to kick. So, he's been fantastic today.
How was he there? Just Jonah Lomu style, just found a little bit of space, handballed the ball to nobody. Anderson ran onto it. Shane Allen dangerous again, but Ziggy Orwin in the right spot at the right time. Back in the middle now, Holmes picks it up. He's tackled by 2 Noble Park players. Clearing kick from Monaghan, only as far as Gibson. Wastes no time. He's got Rhett Jordan in a paddock of space on the wing. Rhett Jordan inside forward 50. There's a whistle. Free kick Norwood. 20 metres out straight in front. I think it's going the way of Johnson for a hold off the ball against Wright.
This might sound strange, Davo, but Norwood actually have to kick this goal because the momentum's all with Noble Park here.
The first time they managed to string together 2 consecutive goals in quick time. David Johnson, the recipient of a free kick, to peg it back. Gets a lot of air on the ball, but it's gone straight through the middle. Goal to Norwood, goal to Davy Johnson. Just what the doctor ordered for the Norsemen. They kick clear, 9-5-59, 6-6-42. We've seen 3 goals in 4 minutes early on in the third term.
That really hurts, Noble, because they've done all the hard work, and then, like you call it a cheap one, where you just don't really know. We couldn't see what was happening.
Could have been there.
But I think Foggers will be disappointed because they've been trying to stop that transition work from defence of Norwood, and they just got it then. They got that outward kick again, and away they went. So he'd be disappointed with that, but they need to get the next one, get back into it.
Update thanks to the local Burger Co. Has kicked his second for Doncaster. The lead now stretching almost 10 goals, 59 points early in the third term.
Sharks doing what most of us expected them to do this afternoon. They have to be premiership favourites.
It's a real feeding frenzy down at Tormore, isn't it?
It certainly is. Manson gets the tap down. Nobody in particular. Ball's not going anywhere. Kyle Martin's wrapped up and we'll have another ball up. O'Sullivan is probably a bit stronger than Wynn, which is I think why they've gone with him against Manson. Clearing kick from the Bulls again. Kyle Martin running back with the flight of the ball. Cops one round the ears from Johnny Holmes, but takes a strong mark. Kick up to half forward to Allwyn. Got Ava on the mark. Not a lot of movement up forward, so just decides to go laterally. Plimmin. He's got Kemperman next to him. Calling for the handball, ignores that. Plimmin. Low ball in the direction of Dorr. Takes a mark, plays on straight away to Monaghan. He's got Allen on the lead. Couldn't quite get to him, but Allen on his left foot. Handballs. Gets it back again. Shane Allen in a bit of space. Left foot kick around the corner. Noble Park. Good build up. Good goal. Great finish. Shane Allen.
Yep.
Methodical.
They've listened to us. Unless Dorr has followed his man down, he's gone forward, which is good because he gives that another target.
Yep.
Alwyn's dangerous because he now becomes the third forward, and suddenly they've got a bit of potency about them in the Noble Park forward line.
All's well that ends well, but that decision to mark strongly and play on from Brett Dorr to, I think it was Monaghan who was standing still, for mine it leaves a bit to be desired. I think it's still poor decision making from Dorr, but it did all's well that ends well.
It is when it's in the forward line you can live with it. It's when it's in the back line that it probably can kill you.
Yeah, spot on. Johnny Holmes, first one of the footy. Jumped upon by Kyle Martin.
Hit out 6-1 and clearances 4-0 in favour of Noble, and they've also dominated contested ball 10-3 thanks to Choose Tap.
Thanks, Soupy. O'Sullivan gets the tap, but it goes straight to Anderson. You got Allen in a one-on-one. Kyle Martin coming back with the flight of the ball. Couldn't take the mark. Picked up by DeClerc. Handball to Dixon. Dixon on the wing. Free kick.
Yeah, it's going to go to Kyle Martin here, I think.
No, it'll go
down the field.
It'll go against Kyle, I think.
No, it is going...
Oh.
Trying to
No. Kyle...
no, the umpires are sorting it out.
Kyle Martin brought down...
No, it should be a free kick to Stewart up here.
Yeah, he brought down Gibson.
Yep.
Okay.
It is. So free kick going to Johnny Holmes, even though Stewart took the mark. So, skipper of Norwood goes in the direction of Williams. He's got a one-on-one with Wright. And the ball over the back, and Matty Jessup read it beautifully.
He's given a free kick here, isn't
No,
it?
he hasn't. I think he's paid the mark. He's paid the mark to Matty Jessup. He was just in the right spot at the right time. It was definitely a free kick to Williams, but umpire let it go because Jessup took the mark. Had he not taken the mark, I think you'd find that the free kick would have been paid.
They're all over the place here on the bench, the Bulls bench. They've just made 2 interchanges and neither player knew exactly what they were doing.
So Jessup kicked the goal, didn't he? Had a shot on goal in the first term from a mark in a similar spot. It's as good as directly in front, and he shouldn't miss it. And he doesn't. He sneaks it home, Matty Jessup. So they can't get within a kick here, Noble Park. 10-5-65 Norwood, 7-6-48 the Bulls. Back out to 17 points.
But I think as long as the game sort of goes and plays out this way, Noble Park are going to be a chance, Paul, because they're just, the game's opening up and both sides are going to go for broke here and try and break the game open.
Look, spot on. I mean, in cricket terms, you had 2 runs and 20 wickets to the score. In footy terms, you had 2 consecutive goals to the side that's trailing. All of a sudden, they're within a kick. So Noble Park definitely in the hunt. And while they're dominating around the stoppage like they are, I mean, you're not going to write them off.
And really, Norwood have kicked their last 2 goals through 2 undisciplined free kicks from Noble.
Yeah, look there, they certainly have. Allen is in the middle of the ground now. Keane, thrown off the ball, bouncing footy. Holmes, handballs out wide to Chrysaradis, just handles it. Back to Holmes. He's running away, but right foot kick to half forward. McCubbin and Plimmin do battle. McCubbin lets the ball come to ground, knocked off the ball by Cody. Plimmin, back to Cody. Boundary line wins out. In fact, Jackson Sketcher, that was for Noble Park, my apologies. Out in front of the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 9 minutes gone here in the third term, widely known as the Premiership Quarter, of course. 10-5-65, played 7-6-48. A 17-point margin in favour of the Norwood Footy Club. Jumped out to a 4 or 5 goal lead early on and just have held on to it. Jordan out of the stoppage. Right foot kick around the corner, real directed. Marked by Mann. Goes wide to Kemperman of the Stewart variety. Umpire calls play on that. Wasn't 15, so runs around his opponent. Long left foot kick to half forward. No mark taken. Sketcher dragged off the footy. Door, boundary line throw in.
Williams and Kemperman have say hello to each other there.
And Robertson as well. It's game of finals footy. It's what you expect to see. Crowd liking it as well. O'Sullivan tapped down. Anderson overruns the footy. Picked up by Holmes. Opts not to kick. Handballs back. Jordan. Long right foot kick. 1-on-1 into the goal square. Stewart. One-handed mark. Held on to free kick. Umpire right in position A, and it was probably there, to be honest. Darren Stewart, he's already kicked a couple. It'll be another goal from a free kick if he puts it through. It'll be his third, and the margin will be back out to 23 points after Noble Park chopped it back to 11.
Davo, the captain, John Holmes, has been extremely important in the last 5 or 6 minutes. He's really got his side back on track.
And Stewart pops it over the goal umpire's head. Number 3 for him, number 11 for Norwood. Back to 23 points.
Yeah, for all of Noble Park's hard work, all of a sudden the lead's back out to 23 points, Davo, and now they find themselves climbing the hill again.
Yeah, it really hurts. As a coach, you just get so frustrated when the opposition are able to get those easy goals through undisciplined free kicks. So they've just got to keep working. They know that they can do it if they work hard. Made a big move here. They've taken the ruckman off, have they?
Yeah, I think Chuck's gone for a breather.
I see. Yeah, you're right. I think we've got to keep him on.
Manson's off.
Got to keep him on.
Yeah, because he can run out games. Maybe just give him 2 or 3 minutes. But Fake was good early. He just doesn't have the same physical presence. It's not going to stop him from getting a clearance. Martin, rifle kick towards Allen, bounces in front of him. Picked up for Norwood there by Calder. He just falls over. Allen goes again. Handball to Monaghan. Short kick to Martin. Just gone the required distance. Umpire's paid the mark. Orwin's in a 1-on-1. Kick tossed off the boot, so Mark the Door won't be paid. It will be paid. I thought I heard a touch off the boot, but Brett Door, strong mark, front position, 40 metres out, probably just on the slight angle, as good as directly in front of the
He's got to clunk this goal, and the thing is, he's going back and, he looks like he's in a hurry. I think he should just be just go back and take his time a bit more.
Suit his left stick. See how he goes here. Brett Daw to cut the margin back to 17 points. He's been hovering around that mark all day. Very close to the man on the mark. He pushes it way left. One behind, 7-7-49, plays 11-5-71.
They really needed that one. That was a disappointing miss because he really did have an opportunity to kick that goal.
He's had one of those almost days, Brett Daw.
Wilson goes short. He was looking out there for the direction of Poynton. Kyle Martin, he's filthy that the free kick's been given to Dean Poynton.
It was a 1-on-3. Poynton got a fairly soft free kick and the two Noble Park boys were by themselves.
Well, his kick went wide and it might have stayed just inside, and a solid mark taken there by Darren Stewart. 3 goals this afternoon.
Oh, and
Andrew Ryder was right on it.
The bench aren't happy about that, the Noble bench. They thought that was out of bounds on the full.
They looked that way. Comes out, bounces towards Monaghan, had a little bit of time, in and under handball to Keane, who kept the ball alive on the right boot. Got dumped after he kicked it up towards the Martin direction at the fall. The ball called is in there, who copped one from Elwyn. The umpire said play on. Hard finals football. Poynton wrapped up, and we'll have a bounce just inside the centre square.
That was great. Great from both clubs, and that was really tough, hard, eyes on the footy all the time.
Fake over the back, will give that one to him. Soupy Poynton brought to ground by Harper. And we'll have another bounce. It's about 60 metres out from Noble Park's goals. Hope the boys are enjoying the sandwiches. It's hard work. Throws it up, Fake. Comes out wide. Jordan had the front spot, and a little give handball was an absolute ripper one to Poynton, who handballed it to himself in the end. He had a little bit of time, got the handball away to Win, who just arched the back and then kicked the ball inside forward 50. It was a bit of a floater in the end. It could have worked out okay there for Stewart. Over the back there is Wilson for Noble Park, trying to get in there. Also is McCormick. Pius says play on, releasing himself there. Jake Wilson eventually brought to ground. Good umpiring, and we'll have a bounce about 45 metres out from goal.
I really like the work of Williams at the moment in the forward line. He's really putting a lot of good pressure on, and he's getting them all fired up, which is great.
Johnson, well, he was the third man up. He won the knockout. Wynn was in there, quickly wrapped up by Fake and Harper, and we'll have a bounce. 45 metres out from Norwood's goal, 71-49 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, halfway through the premiership quarter. High throws it up, Win. Nice little knockdown. Martin had probably more time than what he thought, so he kicked it into the middle where Gibson was the first player to meet it, but he left it though, Poynton in the end. Handball backwards, that's okay. He was looped up there for Calder, who wanted to go on. Martin had him wrapped up nicely. The Noble Park faithful, well, they're getting into this game. I brought the bull ring to Bayswater Oval today. Great crowd in attendance out here. Magnificent venue, and we have the best seats in the house. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast on 98.1 Radio Eastern and streaming live around the globe, efl.org.au. Keep the scores coming in on Twitter at FootyEFL. Manson got the knockdown that time. Streaming out there was Cody on the left boot. Got about 20 metres or so, but Cruzeradis was there to mop up for the Norseman. Went one way, then the other, then speared a pass up towards the half-forward line where Declan couldn't quite pull it down. Manson, he released Robertson, who had a looping handball. It was a dangerous one, but Anderson was on the end of it. Can they create the switch here? The Bulls, the kick goes in towards the middle. Was looking for Martin, but he fell over at the crucial stage. At the back there is Gibson on the right boot. He'll send it out wide, looking for the Dixon direction. Will it sit up for him? It does. He has one bounce. He's about 70 metres out from goal. He'll kick towards the Stewart direction. Fly over the back there by Man. Created the spoil, and now Sketcher will be able to relieve for the Bulls. Kick into the middle of the ground was okay. Dorr got the handball away, and now they're in a bit of trouble. Robertson got brought to ground. I think it was even Tim Kelly that time. Stewie Hill comes in over the ball, almost copped one eye from Anderson. The umpire saw it. Well, it was a little bit unlucky, but it was certainly there. Poynton goes out wide. Cruzeradis. Now the Norsemen have a chance to go forward. Neat passes on, and a good one too. Matty McCormick comes out, takes a strong mark about 45 metres out from goal.
Game's really hot here at the moment, and it's right up for grabs, but Norwood at the moment just seem to have a little bit more poise going into the forward line. McCormick lining up for a big 29-point lead. And
so he comes in now to stretch the lead to 28. It's a sausage roll, but it's a straight sausage roll. That's his second goal on the board. 17 minutes gone now in this third term, and Norwood get their there. Nice safety buffer, breathing space out, 77 to 49 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Noble have thrown absolutely everything at them, and Norwood are able to come up with the answers each and every time. So, again, it's just been a little bit of their clinical work with their feet has been much better. They're lowering their eyes inside 50, making sure that they hit those short targets, and then they've just got a little bit more potent forward line at the moment.
Disappointing, because the margin was back to 11 points.
Yeah.
And Noble Park, they'd be spewing because they did all the hard work, and Ormond kicked his third to get it back to that kick and a half goal margin. But Norwood just starting to gain more control. Jordan out to McCormick at half forward, couldn't take the mark. Jordan roves that ball though. Free kick, Noble Park too high.
No, that was there.
Yeah, in the centre of the ground, going the way of Harper. Drops his kick out wide. Sketcher. Almost played on, but stopped and went to Kemperman. Takes a mark, plays on straight away. Left foot kick to centre half forward, almost like he was aiming for Gibson of Norwood on the lead, who had a 2-metre drop on his opponent, but still opted to spoil. Punches it out of bounds on the far side. Bayswater Road. Here at Bayswater Oval, the home of finals of the Eastern Football League. Manson is back onto the ground. He gets the tap down through the legs of McCubbin, who's been quiet since quarter time. Martin, low stabbing ball to Shane Allen. He's already kicked 3 himself, Shane Allen. Doesn't have a shot. He goes big, strong lead from Fake, but even stronger punch from Matty Ager, who was with him all the way. Thumps it over the boundary line. Not sure why. He, fresh off 7 last week. He's a goal kicker. Is Shane Allen. He's kicked 55 for the year. He should have just turned around and tried to put that one through.
Martin with 6 kicks this quarter.
Come back into the game. 58 for the year because of his 3 today. Thanks BWS for pointing that out. Martin again. And that stoppage brought down in a tackle.
Once again, Norwood have gone back to that gang tackle mentality, and it's really holding Noble Park right up in going into their forward line.
Needs something here, the Bulls. Something's got to give for them. If they can fight back with another 2 before 3/4 time, just seems that every time they've dragged themselves back into it, Norwood have gone the old 1-2 punch. Gain control again. Fake and win. Fake gets the tap down. Holmes tries to burrow his way through. Nothing doing. Ball's in half forward for the Bulls. Trail by 28 points. 20 minutes gone here. Just ticked into time on in the 3rd turn. Fake gets the tap. Not a lot of space for the midfielders. Boundary line again. Another stoppage.
I think Noble have been their own worst enemy this quarter. They've worked hard, gave away silly free kicks, had that chance at a goal and went to a poor choice again in forward. And I know Kyle Martin was very disappointed with that choice.
But Fake taps it over the back. Monahan tries to burst his way through. Ball towards goal. Ava fumbles. Ball out of bounds next to the behind post in the right forward pocket.
They need a goal out of this forward foray here, Noble Park.
Yep, cut the margin back to something like 15 points at 3/4 time. They're definitely within the running. Win. Anderson to Kemperman. Tackled. Great tackle there by Lockie Dixon. Stewie Kemperman.
You didn't do year 12 maths, did you?
No, why?
Cut the margin back to 15 points. It's 28.
I said they can get it around 15 points. 2 goals won, they get it back to 15 points. Another stoppage inside 50.
A+.
Around the grounds, thanks to the local Burger Co. Croydon still scoreless, 72 points the margin out at Tormore Reserve in Baronia. The other game going on over at Walker Park, 23 minutes played, 3rd term. Kilsyth lead by their biggest margin of the game, 15 points. And Mitcham still leading at that. This was back at the 13-minute mark, 6-7 to 4-5 over Templestowe.
The ball's made its way to the half-back flank. Mark taken by...
Haven't scored.
No, not in the 3rd term. I think they've definitely scored, Croydon.
2 points.
2 points. Haven't kicked a goal. There you go.
Correct.
Manson taps down to Monahan. Ball just eludes him. Poynton gives the ball straight back though, and then jumps onto the back of Sam Monahan of Noble Park, drives him into the turf. So good pressure by the man they call Fingers, one of Brad Henderson's favourite, Dean Poynton.
Pye throws it up. Manson knocked down. Poynton, speak of the devil, got a little handball out, and now it's in the arms of Wilson. He goes backwards.
Oh.
Norwood, can they get a bit of a switch on here? Kick goes in towards the middle of the ground. This is working out okay. Inside forward 50. Williams had to take it on the first bite, but he couldn't. So Pever Wright picks it up and just popped it up towards the Monaghan direction. So it was a good kick in the end. Sam Monaghan.
It's the next disposal that's the most important.
Well, he wanted a shorter option, so Daniel Keeley presented that. He's in the square, and now he'll go out wide towards the Anderson direction. Has to take it on the bounce. Has to take on his opponent in Murphy Ambrose, and over she goes for a boundary throw-in.
I think Alwyn's off the ground. I think he's injured. I think he got hurt in that contest where the two players went pretty hard at it. He's come off with a, looked like a shoulder injury, and he hasn't reappeared.
Well, expect to see Damo moving pretty soon as Kemperman drives the ball forward, and it was a good kick too. Bergen Fake comes out and takes the mark about 20 metres out from goal. 45-degree angle, but you think the big man would go back and put this through.
Once again, big Chucky Manson in the ruck. Did all the hard work, got the tap out. Fake shooting for goal again.
Hit outs 22-8 in the third quarter in favour of Noble Park. Clearances 12-8.
Next to choose tap, Yarra Valley Water.
They're sucking in the big ones, Noble, when they're coming off. They're really given everything this quarter.
Stewie Kemperman has moved to half forward. It's been a good move by the coaching staff.
To reduce the margin to 22 points. It's a good one. Well, he helicoptered it all the way home, but it ended up going straight through the middle. Bergen Fake gets his first goal for the afternoon. Noble Park, well, they get their eighth on the Bendigo back scoreboard. 8-7-55. It's now back to 22, 12-5, 77.
Just one goal, one away from that magical 15-point mark.
And how magical it is.
If you're right, you can have the extra burger.
I've been behind it off, don't worry. Speaking of burgers,
we'll
send an express base.
Thompson's kicked 3 goals in 5 minutes. Doncaster are really putting their foot down. Margin close to 80 points now.
Free kick straight out of the ruck contest. The Bronx cheers from the Noble Park brethren. It's going to Anderson, the skipper. Craig Anderson, long kick to half forward. Strong bar coming out there by Cody of the Luke variety. Short in the pocket. He's got Allen. He's got some space. Shane Allen turns around, wheels around on the left boot, long kick towards goal. Is it on to hold its line? It's not. Lands in the goal square. Fake. Couldn't take the mark. Oh, I thought the umpire was going to pay it, and now all of a sudden Norwood are at half-back. Ford, right foot kick over the top. McCubbin.
They're a bit stiff there. I thought that looked like a fairly good grab.
Yep.
Thought he had more than enough of that big Vergem Fake. One of those players where you have to use his whole name, not just the surname.
Clearly.
Kick from McCubbin, clears the pack, picked up by Robinson, handball to Manson, gets around Holmes, gives him the old don't argue, Chucky Manson, right foot kick to absolutely nobody. Stewart, cops one high, no free kick. Allen, Wilson, ball up, that's crossed down boundary side, thanks to LifeCare, Damian Watson.
On the Noble Park bench, Ziggy Olwen was being consulted too with Coach Mick Fogarty. His arm is in a sling and he's got the jacket on, so I don't think he'll be taking further part in the game at the moment.
We'll keep close eyes at three-quarter time. Damo as it kick up towards the half-forward line now. Went it towards the Harper direction. Cruzaradis knocked it back towards Stewie Hill, who kept his eye on the football. Door came charging through, trying to get rid of the football, give his side another chance just outside the arc. 77 plays 55. Noble Park, they're trailing by 22 points, but it's in their forward line. Pye throws it up, knocked down that time there by O'Sullivan over Manson. Ball hits the deck and we'll have a restart.
Just freezing, isn't it? Perfect day for footy.
26-minute mark of this third term. Nicely done, O'Sullivan. Bangs it on the boot in towards the middle of the ground. Will it bounce favourably for Dixon? Over the top there was Jared Plimman, who just couldn't get boot to ball in time. Pye says, give it to me. So almost in the true centre position of Bayswater Oval. Cody's in there, the Trent variety. Tim Kelly as well, trying to barge his way through a...
You know, it does sound silly, but if they kick another goal, Noble, they are a real chance in this last quarter because they have worked really hard this quarter with very little reward for all their hard work.
Well, here's their chance now. Manson kicked it inside forward 50. Hill, little handball over the top. That was okay. It was taken by Newman, who got ducked in the end. And he's been, that's the definition of being pants.
Look, that's a stiff decision, I think, because the tackle didn't really stick and he got the handball away.
Kemperman could nearly have a shot from here, but why would you bother when you can go to a Shane Allen lead when he had a bit of space in front of him? He'll have a shot on goal, 40 metres out.
There might be a bit of poetic justice in that one because of Fake not getting that mark before, I reckon.
I think you'd probably take a mark in the goal square over a 45 on the wrong side
I suppose.
kick. But look, he's got a chance and he has kicked well today.
If the footy gods are really smiling upon them, Brash, he'll put this one straight through the middle.
Three goals for the afternoon. He's kicked 58 for the year. On the siren, can he put this one home? What an absolute cracker. And if that isn't going to fire up your side, there's nothing that will. Noble Park on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard at three-quarter time. They moved to 9 goals, 761. They're trailing by 16 points. It's back to within 3 goals out here at Bayswater Oval. Norwood are 12 goals, 577.
Yeah, look, as I said, I got a funny feeling that Noble are actually playing the better football at the moment. The 3 goals that Norwood kicked were all from free kicks, 2 of them downfield. And they have just worked so hard, Noble Park, that quarter to stop the run. They worked hard in the middle. They got very aggressive around the ground. There was lots of little niggles and spot fires everywhere. And I think that's what they're going to go in with this quarter. They're going to go in with a little bit of belief. And this game is still up for grabs.
They've got the momentum. Multiple goal kickers on the ground. 3 to Lee Williams, then Darren Stewart for Norwood, 2 to Matty McCormack. And for the Bulls, Shane Allen's got 4. Ziggy Orwan's got 3, but his arm's in a sling. No further part in this one. Ziggy Orwan from Noble Park. 7-8 points to margin here, three-quarter time. We're listening to 98.1 FM Radio Eastern, the home of the Eastern Football League.
Check.
Caramel Crunch would be great to have after a day at the footy. Pancake Parlour open 24 hours, High Point, Malvern and Doncaster East. Lovely.
Program sponsor.
The inside of a cake can have many layers. On the outside, it's hidden behind a coat of icing. But when you cut out a slice, all is exposed. At Tobin Brothers Funerals, nothing is hidden. Our website and Memory Maker app make it clear for families to make informed decisions about planning a funeral for a loved one. That's an example of how Tobin Brothers Funerals is taking transparency to new levels. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Program sponsor.
EFL mobile web app. Own a smartphone and love the EFL? Then the EFL mobile web app is a must for you. Go to m.efl.org.au to access fixtures, results and ladders for all EFL grades. You can also receive live around-the-ground scores every Saturday afternoon from the palm of your hand and contribute to the mighty EFL forum while you're online. Download the EFL mobile web app to go live and local for your footy, right from the palm of your hand.
Good news, boys. It's 20% off to travel on Eastlink on weekends and public holidays with a car tax. So, with the money you'll save, you'll have enough.
Enough for what, Coach?
My birthday present next week. And I have my eye on some sparkly gold footy boots with some pandas on them.
Get a breeze tag and use Eastlink, the quickest way to get around Melbourne's East. Arrive fresher, play better. Eastlink, it's time better spent.
In sparkly boots.
Program sponsor.
Welcome back to the Radio Eastern Studios. Plenty of great games as you love it local right across the 4 grand finals venues, I should say, across the, they are grand final venues. They will be over the next few weeks, of course. Out at Bayswater Oval in our radio game, it's currently a just under a 3-goal lead to Norwood. Noble Park not going away this afternoon. At Tormore Reserve, though, one side who's just begun the fight back right on the stroke of three-quarter time is Croydon. They've finally kicked their first goal of the afternoon. Croydon 1-2-8, Doncaster 13-9-87, and dominating the contest as they enter, or look to enter, a grand final once again. Pushing their way up into Division 1 next season. Over at East Burwood, Mitcham 6-9-45, lead Templestowe 4-5-29. So Templestowe still within striking distance of the Tigers there. And Kilsyth 5-9-39, lead Forest Hill 2-4-16 at three-quarter time. The winner of that to take on Warrandyte in next week's Division 4 2015 Grand Final, although I've just got an update that Nolte has kicked the first. So the margin is now back to 17 points, still in favour of the Kilsyth Cougars, though. Plenty of intriguing results as we go around the grounds, gents.
Absolutely, Dyson Baker and your Brisbane Lions fighting hard against Hawthorn for a quarter there, but they've been blown out of the water since then.
Yeah, look, a 10-goal-to-1 term never helps, and that's exactly what happened in that second term.
And normal order's been restored. Carlton's getting flogged again as well, so that's all very, very good. But out here, 16 points to the Norwood Footy Club. It's been, I think, Davo and Brash, I think Noble Park have been the better side out on the ground since quarter time.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think they've played, they've changed up their way they've played. They've played the better contested footy. They've been better, obviously, through the middle with the work of Manson. And they got their forward line structure right that quarter. They got the right balance of smalls and talls. Losing Alwyn may hurt them, but we'll see how they work in this last quarter. Norwood just kind of like hung in there that quarter. They got a couple of lucky breaks, and they took them, which is really important. But this first 10 minutes could be really crucial to the way this game goes.
Well, and it's a great point, Davo, because they did get those free kicks, and they took. You see in other games of footy where sides were just sort of hanging on like that, and they get a few lucky breaks, and they kick points, and they don't quite take their opportunities. That's why they're such a fantastic side. But let's take this opportunity across down boundary side. Thanks to LifeCare, Damian Watson's got Mick Fogarty.
Mick, a couple of quick goals late in that third term. The confidence is up. What did you tell the boys at the huddle?
Just about playing on at every cost, about winning outside ball, our ability to get overlap ball, and our ability just to get it into our forwards. If we can get it into our arc, we put pressure on their defenders and isolate our forwards so that they are having one-on-ones, we're a chance. Because they're not comfortable when they are divided and they've got separation. Norwood aren't comfortable.
And I know you can't say too much at this stage, but what's the latest on Ziggy Olwen?
Yeah, look, it's a shoulder. So it's a terrific contest out there, and that's what Ziggy's about. Noble Park's about putting his body on the line, so it's a shoulder.
Thanks very much, Mick.
Good on you, mate.
Well, that's a really big loss for them. I mean, and he obviously not coming back next week, but regardless of where Noble Park go next week, Paul, it's going to be a big loss.
Yeah, absolutely. We don't know how bad it is, but he's kicked how many goals for the season? 33. He's kicked 3 today, so 36 goals for the season. He creates at half forward, but we spoke about the work of Stewie Kemperman. He's playing that role now, so maybe it's a blessing in disguise. I'll unearth someone in another position. Andy Paolacci's down boundary side. Thanks to LifeCare. He was over at the Norwood huddle. What did Dennis Knight have to say?
Yeah, he just drilled in the message to stick to the process. It's gotten this far, a 16-point lead. He explained that these games aren't going to open up, and they've just got to stick to the process, win the contest, and they'll go far. He also mentioned to nullify that hit-up lead that Noble Park had been working to their advantage so well. So they were talking a lot about the zone, just making sure you just fill the gaps. It's a real team effort, and just drilling that message that keep the belief, and you'll get home.
Exactly right, and it's a great point from Nina because you don't expect it to open up, and if it does open up, it'll probably suit Norwood anyway. So from a Noble Park point of view, they have to make sure that they keep toughing it out because it's going to take them all.
Is the wind a factor? It's blowing out there.
It's certainly blowing out there, yeah. It's going right across the ground. It's almost towards the scoreboard.
Say that again, Andy.
It's pushing more or less towards the scoreboard.
More or less, I like it.
That is, of course, the way the Bulls are kicking in this final term. 16 points, it's absolutely nothing. A quick couple of goals. All of a sudden, it's anyone's game. It's what you want to see. Finals, Manson just gets rid of Johnny Wynn into the path of a teammate. I think that was Monaghan who kicks it inside 50. Stewie Kemperman comes out to meet the footy. He's led by leads Gibson to the ball on the boundary line. Beats all comers. That's where we're going right now. Thanks to LifeCare, Damian Watson.
And the rain has started again, boys, so it'll be interesting to see whether that will impact the scoreboard pressure.
Yeah, if you,
Lucky you've got a scarf.
Yes, exactly. I hope your neck's nice
Third
and warm
time
down there. I might bring one next week, actually. Probably look a bit better than that, though. Throw in at half forward. Kyle Martin releases fake. Right foot banana outside of the boot. Oh, just to the right-hand side. It would have been a dream start for the Bulls. One behind. How about that from Vergam fake? Never handball to a ruckman, Davo, but they did on that occasion and it almost paid off.
And they're only 2 goals, 3 away from scores being level. So
15-point margin. That magical figure of 15 points has been found.
The kick comes in from Gibson. It's a fair old roost too, a big pack over it at the bottom there, Declan. I'm looking for one in the back from Monaghan. Umpire said, I'm not having a bar of that one. Let's have a bounce.
It's in these conditions. It's interesting that the big blokes are having a real influence, isn't it? Really.
Yep.
Manson knocked down Monahan on the right boot, pokes it inside forward 50. Shane Allen out in front. He had the stretch. He pulled it in, and he'll have a shot from 45 metres out, almost directly in front.
One of the things that Noble Park have done, they're going to stretch Norwood's full back line. They've got Fake and Dorr sitting down forward to push them, and they've got Allen and Martin up the ground.
Well, in the big games, you want your big-time players to stand up, and that is exactly what Shane Allen is, except he pushed it to the right-hand side. The goal umpire did not move, but it was always missing. Grant Campbell, thanks to Choose Tap Match Stats.
Noble Park now have 27 more hit-outs for the match. I think that goal umpire actually moves to the left a lot more when it goes straight through the middle. When it goes to the side, he stays in the middle. I don't know why.
Long kick in from Gibson, who's been entrusted with those duties all afternoon. He was looking for Johnson, who had front position, couldn't bring it down. Jordan picks it up, tackled by Anderson, ball up, almost right out in front of the scoreboard. The Bendigo Bank scoreboard, 14 points of margin it is now in favour of Norwood. Monahan helps that one over the boundary.
Any more dark, or we might have to have the lights on.
Yeah.
Around the grounds, thanks to the local Burger Co. Ben, you just spoke about big name key forwards standing up in big games. Ash Nolte's kicked the first 2 goals of the last term. Lead back to 11 points at Walker Park. Kilsyth 5-9, lead Forest Hill 4-4. 8 minutes gone, final term.
Big thump forward from Manson, run onto by Cody. Couldn't quite keep a control of the footy. And Gibson accepts the tackle of Anderson, and we'll have another ball up. Fake. Tap down to Stewie Kemperman. Fake picks it up again to Allen, who just falls over at the wrong time. Chrysaratis is in there for the Norseman. Harper brings him to ground. Another stoppage. This time it is bang smack directly out in front of the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, which reads 12-5-77 Norwood, 9-9-63 Noble Park. 3.5 minutes gone here in the final term. Qualifying final. BALWYN awaits the winner next week. Handball from Fake to Martin. Kick around the corner is smothered. Norwood off half back. Right foot kick to the middle of the ground. Lee Williams comes out, takes a mark, plays on straight away to Ford. Long kick, Stewart, no one around him, leads in the race, just has to pick up the footy. Handballs to Jordan, he's going to run into an open goal and hit the post. Oh no, Red Jordan.
He's got a free kick.
Red Jordan, he gets a free kick, let off the hook there. Jeez, he should have put that one through.
He definitely copped one.
He absolutely did. They made him earn the kick. Chuck Manson's not happy. Lucky it's not the real Charlie Manson. That umpire have a few sleepless nights.
That was probably Trent Robinson probably at his best giving the professional free kick away, because that was the only option he had.
Yep.
That was the only option. I don't think Mick Fogarty would be too disappointed with it, even though it could result in a goal.
We've still got to put it through. Just outside the goal square, so it's on the slightest of angles. Red Jordan, right foot kick. Goal umpire does a bit of dancing. Too much dancing. One behind. Red Jordan, 2 in a row. Geez, that could have been an important goal. Would have been very handy. Margin back out to 15 points. 12-6-78. 9-9-63 Noble Park on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Well, that either wins you or loses you games, those ones.
That's it.
Sketcher to bring the ball back in. Short to right, who was only looking one way and got the handball to the running Martin, who kicked it out wide towards Wilson. It bounced favourably for him, so he had a bit of time. Swings a left boot up towards Dorr, who just stood flat-footed. Hill over the back, created the spoil. Charging through there is Collis. Great tackle. Zach McCubbin right in front of us here. And we'll have a bounce. True centre wing position. Grandstand side of Bayswater Oval, a 15-point lead to Norwood, who will tackle BALWYN next weekend for a shot at the big dance. No one got the knockout, but it was Holmes who got the clearance, which was smothered. Hill came charging in. In fact, that time it was Gibson. Got the little handball away towards the Hill direction. He ducked the head. He almost won the free. Got it away to his skipper there in Holmes. Kemperman came in also, and we'll have a bounce. A lot of players around this football.
That's where the game's changed, I reckon. It's this just really brutal contest at the moment, and we'll just see who escapes the better out of it, I think.
Red Jordan limping off the ground, so a little bit worse for wear.
Free kick here is going to go to Stewie Kemperman, I think, who's the man on the bottom of the pack.
They have been under some intense pressure the first 10 minutes, the Norwood defence, and Noble Park are really coming right at them.
Well, it'll be handy for them to to make something of this as Kemperman drives it into the forward pocket. Big fly over the back by Sam Monaghan, who used Adam Gibson as a nice little step ladder. It didn't come off. And we'll have a boundary throw in about 40 metres out from goal. 15 points the margin. Norwood have the lead. Big fly over the back there by Wynn. Anderson's the first player to meet it there for Noble Park. Could get the handball back to Collis. He dropped the
That
ball.
was a really poor
Well
play
done
by
there
Anderson.
by Matty Dekler, who in back to his fingers. Sorry, Bradley.
He had first option then and didn't give it. That was really poor from Anderson.
Might just elect to go the direct way down the wing. He goes a big fly over the back,
Yeah,
and
that's a free.
giving away a free kick there was Darren Stewart. It was unnecessary in the end, so Mann gets the handball away. His Sketcher
Handball to the
was
teammate
just
standing
pointless.
still.
Absolutely pointless. You're spot on, Sketcher. Made hard work of it, and then just, well, he did nothing in the end because he slammed it down the throat of David Johnson, Brasher's love child, as he gets the handball away, and the kick goes inside forward 50 from Lachlan Dixon, but stolen there by Jake Wilson in the front spot for the Bulls. They need to go direct. The kick goes out wide, though. Jared Plymouth, who's had a quiet afternoon, takes the mark inside the defensive arc, and he's got Mann leading for him if he can spot him up, or he might start the switch going on. Bright takes it. Still just inside the arc here.
Geez, big boy. Look at the size of him.
Certainly a unit. We've seen him pull down a huge mark on the Queen's birthday game earlier on in the year as he thumps the ball every bit of 60 metres over the head of everybody. It goes over the boundary line and out of bounds. 15 points the margin, 8 minutes into this final turn. Let's cross down boundary. Andy Paolacci.
Yeah, BWS, the Norwood physio staff, they're currently working on Rhett Jordan's left ankle. He does look a bit worse for wear. He was certainly hobbling quite heavily. I would be surprised if we see him take any further part in this game.
Feeling the ill effects of that incident earlier on. Dixon gets the clearing kick from Norwood out of that stoppage up towards the centre wing. The Norsemen have the numbers. Fingers. Dean Poynton handballs to Chrysaradis, who tries to get around Robinson and just fell over at the wrong moment. The umpire, gee, I think the boundary line saved him. I thought he was gone for all money, Jaden Chrysaradis, but we'll have a boundary throw in. On centre wing, just on the Norwood side of halfway. They lead this game by 15 points. Almost 9 minutes gone in the final term. Kyle Martin, quick hands, left foot kick from Harper up towards centre half forward.
Oh, Hilly.
Great mark, Stewie Hill, ghosting across the front of the pack. Big, strong chest mark from Stewie Hill, one of the great fullbacks in Division 1 of the Eastern Football League.
Contender for Pancake Parlour Player of the Day, that.
Left foot kick, as if inspired by himself. Stewie Hill tries to bite a bit more than he can chew.
Until he kicked it.
Yeah. No good. A couple of bounces over the boundary line in front of his teammate, so we'll have a boundary throw in now. Out in front of the tent on the far side of the ground. Plenty of people huddled in there because it's just started to rain. It's getting a little bit heavier by the minute here. Monaghan, Anderson, stolen by Dixon, who handballs to Wynn. Standing still, Wynn gets the handball across. Now it's in the hands of Gibson. Right foot kick into the middle of Bayswater Oval. Zach McCummon's got a panic. Stopped and bounced.
The ball free kick.
Yeah, Kevin Keane. Yep, spot on. Ford pushed him in the back.
Yeah, just a bit overzealous there, Jakey Ford.
Yeah, means he fell over and hit his head. Did Keane. He seems to be in a bit of trouble.
Marked by Jessup inside 52, so a shot on goal, back to the middle, Noble Park to go
It's
forward.
almost a reverse role from the third term when Norwood were the beneficiary of a couple of slack free kicks from Noble Park. Now it's the other way around. Keane coming off the ground, so not going to take the free kick.
I think it's blood rule. No.
Looks to be in a bad way, so Cody just pumps it inside 50. A big pack of players. Allen flies at the back. Picked up by Ava. He was the first one there. Right foot kick around the corner. Kemperman Stewie just off the bench. Running back with the fly to the ball. Great mark, Jake Ford.
Oh, holy dog.
That is finals footy at its absolute best. He's got a teammate running past. It's Dean Poynton. Gets it to him. High left foot kick. Wright and Williams do battle. Darren Stewart ghosting back though. He takes a strong grab. Plenty of space inside 50. He goes that way. Long kick from Stewart. They need a mark here, the Norseman. Gibson couldn't take it. Kick off the ground. Just to the wrong side. Adam Gibson, one behind Norwood.
He's had a good game, Gibson.
Absolutely he has. 12-7-79 Norwood. 9-9-63 the Noble Park Footy Club. 16 points of margin. 11 minutes gone. Qualifying final Division 1 Eastern Football League action.
Ryan Campbell, thanks to Choose Tap Match Stats.
Inside 50.
Oh, just cut you off there, Matty Dekler. Well, the short pass was on from Cody, and I tell you what, it's well, this could absolutely seal it here.
Coach killer.
Yeah, jeez.
Just, no, not necessary. They've not been doing that for the last, 15, 20 minutes of all game time, and then they do it now.
Well, you've heard the saying, right place, right time. That certainly suits this situation. It's a good kick off the boot. It drifts to the left-hand side. Brett Dorr stands strong on the last line of defence, and he's not wasting any time. Cody, he gets another chance of a reprieve, Trent.
He's doing exactly what Mick Folks wants him to do.
So he's screaming for our teammates to make their way up to half-back, so he goes to the Manson direction. The big fly over the back there by O'Sullivan, who pulls it down on the second grab. Fantastic mark. He's about 80 metres out from goal. They've spread into the middle here. The kick needs to be good, and Matty Jessup takes the mark. Almost at true centre half forward. They're 2 kicks from home. Forward short if he wants him. He might go to the tall timber. He might go to the Leroy Williams direction. The kick dropped short in the end. Martin tried to claim the mark on the second bite. Over the top he goes.
Good
short
kick.
pass to Sam Monaghan. It was tough for him. He had to use the opposite and somehow find his way to his teammate, and he hit the target. Short passes on. Back fake is in the goal square. Defensive side out to Kemperman. Now they'll use the far side of Bayswater Oval here. Jared Plimmin takes the mark. Still 50 metres out from the Norwood goals. Short is on. Jake Wilson.
They look like a football side now, Noble Park.
They do. They just got to. They've slowed it down too much when they get to this area. They need to continue with the run if they're going to.
They've just done it again too. As the sausage rolled straight into the arms of Stewie Hill, who didn't pull the mark down. Jessup though, handballs off. That's okay. Ava on the right boot into the middle of the ground. Mark's taken by McCubbin. He's got players further afield if he wants to use him in Gibson, who's screaming for it. But they've still got players forward. Mark's been taken there by Dixon. Swings around now on the right boot up towards the Williams direction. Big thump over the top there by Wright, but stolen by Cruzaranos. Can he put it through? He pushes it to the left-hand side. Well, that certainly would have got everybody up and about, but instead, let's go down boundary side. Thanks to LifeCare, Damian Watson.
As is the customary Melbourne tradition, BWS, the rain has stopped for the moment, and Kevin Keane is coming back onto the ground after that heavy knock 5 minutes ago.
98 points the margin now at Tormore Reserve, and I tell you what, with Thompson and Scotland now resting on the bench, there's only one way to stop the Sharks in a couple of weeks' time.
How's that?
To play Donny
12-8-80, plays 9-9-63, 17 points the margin on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Collis has the ball at half back, kicks the ball 5 metres to Martin. Umpire still pays the mark. Cole Martin takes the mark.
Yeah, well, he can take his time like that, but no one's actually moved since he's done that.
Shocking kick, hits the wrong side of the football, puts Wilson under a bit of pressure. Handballs to right, he makes good space. Great work, big fella. Finds Plimmin. Kicks to Stewie Kemperman at half forward. Jess gets there. Great lead from Stewie Kemperman as well. Suit his left foot. Comes inboard. Finds Daniel Keeley. Thought about playing on. Decided not to. They've set up well across the middle. Got a few options. Almost too many here. Eventually looks like that's what they're going to do. No. Kelly.
Norwood have zoned back so quickly. That's the problem. They zone so well, Norwood, that if you stop the ball, they just zone back in and stop you allowing to get those easy kicks.
Somehow there's still a fat side though, Davo, so if they get the footy in right, Noble Park, it'll work for them. The kick from Plimmin goes to a pack. It is inside the forward 50. No clean possession. Picked up by Allen.
Boundary.
Tackled. It's crossed down boundary side. Thanks to LifeCare, Andy Paolacci.
Yeah, Sam, as Rhett Jordan is back on after that ankle knock. His right ankle heavily strapped and still noticeably limping, so interesting to see how he plays the rest of the game out.
One of the stars.
Nothing that a jab couldn't have fixed.
One of the stars from the Norwood Footy Club across half-back, Rhett Jordan. Certainly would need him out there. It's 15 minutes gone, 12-8-80, plays 9-9-63 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Harper sees it over the boundary line again.
They won't go away.
No.
But they need a goal. They need another goal. If they don't get this goal, then it's...
Dunsky.
Yep. Yeah. Ball back in. Harper got tackled, but still had his hands free. Got the handball forward. No one can pick up the footy, though. Tackle laid by Gibson. Pressure moments. Pressure game of football. To the victor go the spoils. A match up against BALWYN next week. Right out here at Bayswater Oval again. The Eastern Football League finals in Division 1. And geez, it's just starting. If this is any indication of the kind of footy we're going to get, where else would you rather be for the next month? Clearing kick from Norwood. No mark taken.
Throw.
It looked like a throw, Brash, but not paid. Plimmin Hit the wrong side of the footy, outside of the boot, out of bounds on the full.
Shocker.
Going to be a free kick at in front.
You sit down and you have a look and you go, not sure how Norwood are actually winning it, because they're actually not doing much, but Noble are making all the play, just making too many mistakes.
Jessup. His side's defensive arc, far side of the ground, drives the ball up towards the wing position over the top right, got two hands on it, Holmes at the fall, the ball, little look away handball, went sideways and out of bounds for a boundary throw in.
One area Norwood is winning is the contested possessions this quarter, 21-16. Uncontested possessions, 28-18 in favour of Noble.
Thanks to Choose Tap, the #1 stats man in the business, Grant Campbell. Jessup was allowed to go on with it from the umpire, so they link up well here. Here's Jakey Ford, kicks it up towards the McCubbin direction, but he outmuscled his opponent well, which created a little bit of space there for Stewart. This way, that way. It might just sausage roll. It's all the way in here with a bit of a wrong end. Is it going through? It's touched on the line. Robertson in desperation keeps his side alive. 17.5-minute mark of this final term, and it is Norwood 12-8-80, and it is a 16-point margin out here as they look to bring the ball straight back. The Noble Park Football Club kick goes out wide. It was half smothered. You heard the slap in the effects. Mike picked up by Gibson, who has a short option on, and he takes it just to slow things down a little bit. McCubbin.
Norwood has still got to take the game on. They can't afford to be slowing it down. They have to keep taking the game up, otherwise Noble Park will run over them.
Gibson's getting votes from me, there's no doubt about that. On the right boot, kicks it up towards the half-forward line and out in front. Lachlan Dixon, who's had a good game. I've liked his work rate.
Had a good last quarter.
Dixon just kicks it into the hot spot over the top there of Williams, standing tall. Bergam fake, takes it. The big ruckman, he's got half a short and he wants to hit that target, which he does. Umpire call play on, which was a little bit stiff maybe in the end. Picked up by Williams, back to Declan, who almost copped one high.
Oh, no!
And he has been called high, Trent Robinson.
I'll tell you what, Lee Williams' defensive work as a forward has been sensational today. Just then again, it was just his pressure work to create that turnover, free kick or not, it doesn't matter. His work has been tremendous.
So well, three first half goals.
Can he ping one from the impossible? He starts it right. It's a beautiful kick off the boot. That's an absolute perler. That is the Westfield Knox goal of the day. Don't you worry about that. Matty Declan from the boundary line. And, well, Norwood look to be going on for a chance in the big dance next week against BALWYN. The lead is out to 24 points. Almost time on here on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
If that was the defining moment of the game, that's it there. That tackle by Lee Williams, that forward pressure there, created the opportunities for Declan or Decleur, whoever it is. Decleur.
We'll go with my pronunciation.
The French
pronunciation. Around the grounds, thanks to the local Burger Co. Matty Carnelli kicks a goal at the 26-minute mark of the final term. Kilsyth 6-12-48. Forrestal not going away 5-4-38. As I update though, final siren, Kilsyth into the grand final against Warrandyte.
Big match-up. Punch forward there from Fake. Monaghan.
By Brett Shoulders.
Sketcher. Big kick. Dylan Collis takes a strong mark on the lead at centre wing. Anderson just drops back, takes a good one. Got to put the ball inside 50. Goes wide to Allen, who couldn't take the mark. It's an interesting option, an interesting spot to lead Shane Allen. If he took the mark, he would have been right up against the boundary line. We saw Matty Declerc put one through, but 20 minutes gone. 13-9-87.
I think that's because Jonathan Wynn went back into the hole and there was no one else down there, so he had to go out wide.
Kyle Martin grabs the ball out of the stoppage. Right foot kick from the boundary. Oh, it's just gone on the wrong side. One behind Noble Park. Let's cross down boundary side thanks to LifeCare. Andy Paolacci.
Yeah, I think Dennis Knight is putting Rhett Jordan on ice. He's been taken off, still noticeably limping. So I think just doing the discipline thing and giving Rhett Jordan an early bath.
Yeah, went back on, and when he went on, he went to full forward. Long kick from the Norseman, picked up by Holmes, who's been a good four-quarter performer today, the Norwood skipper. Just burst through a couple, kick to Lee Williams leading up. Good work from him. It's got Chrysaritis and Ford. They raffle it. Chrysaritis comes out on top. It's got Dixon. Before that, though, finds Alex Calder. Gibson. Left foot kick to him, just over his head, but he's got plenty of space. Taps it forward to Dixon. Takes a bounce. He's got one to get around. Handballs over the top of Fake. Gets it back from Gould. Lockie Dixon to ice the game for Norwood. Can't quite. One behind. 13-10, 88 now to 9-10, 64. An even 4-goal margin, 21 and a half minutes. They're going to need to do some good work from here, the Bulls.
Martin up to 9 disposals in this final quarter, thanks to Tuesday.
Short passes on to Anderson. We go short to Monaghan, takes the mark. Still haven't got out of that defensive arc. 3 kicks. Short now, Kelly takes it. Still inside. Anderson screaming for it in the guts. He's short. He'll go for it again, Anderson. He has to pluck it in, and he does. Great experience. He knows what needs to be done as he just thumps it with a little bit of hope as well. But it was a 5-on-1 situation, but it might be downfield for being dumped afterwards here.
Yeah, Davey Johnson got taken out of the contest by Trent Robinson.
Oh, okay, so it comes back the other way.
Yeah, once again, Trent Robinson's overzealousness has cost Noble Park a crucial possession.
He has made a few costly mistakes today.
Yes, I mean, not that he should do that, but in his defence,
yeah, I know.
Johnson...
he's a great antagonist.
Yes,
he certainly didn't do the right thing by Martin either. But,
Johnson's kick goes forward and a free kick has been paid to Norwood, so... Well, only about 20 metres out from goal, if that. Darren Stewart will shoot for his 4th. And, well, Paul, you talked about the icing earlier on. This is certainly going to be it with a few sprinkles as well, I reckon.
Darren with an eye.
Do we have a count on how many free kick goals Norwood have had? Because I would suggest that I think every goal they've kicked after half-time's been a free kick.
And he puts it straight through the middle for his 4th goal on the board, and Norwood are running away with this one. A fantastic team performance today. Bendigo Bank scoreboard 14-10-94. It's out to 30 points, 9-10-64.
Around the grounds, thanks to the local Burger Co. Sorry to cut in, boys. Mitcham 7-10-52. Templestowe coming 6-7-43. Can't be too long left out at Eastfield.
Good effort by Tempe there, Paul, really.
Yeah, with half the side out.
I'll tell you the other one, young Dixon. Dixon's been good, but I really like the work of the centre forward Stewart today. He's been excellent, hasn't he, all day?
Big kick from Manson inside forward 50. Ends up with a mark or free kick to Stewie Hill and 25-metre penalty against Brett Dorr. Maybe a bit of lip. Crowd getting involved.
Representative team teammates there.
Yeah, 30 points. With even 5 goals a margin here, Norwood have certainly done enough. They'll take on BALWYN next week.
I knew he was going to do that.
Stewie Hill goes all the way back to Davey Johnson. He's got Dixon. Well, ranging right foot kick finds Dixon. No rush here from the Norseman. It's Dixon at half back. Gets around Monaghan. The crowd absolutely love it. 3-on-1 in favour of the Bulls. Manson thumps it down. Left foot kick now. Brett Dorr. He's got Keane out wide. Monaghan lays a Shepherd. Keane, right foot kick into some space. In the direction of Kemperman. Stewie Kemperman couldn't take the mark. Gets a free kick. Umpire says no advantage, even though it was about to
pay the mark.
Oh, did he pay the mark, did he? So fair enough. No advantage from a mark. Stewie Kemperman. Nothing more than a consolation prize for a Noble Park Bull who's been there on the last day in September. Won flags with his footy club. He's going to put one through here. He's a great Noble Park man, Stewie Kemperman, as is Bobby.
Well, they moved Kemperman forward for this final term, so I'd like to see him kick a goal because that's what he was there for.
He played the Ziggy Allwyn role after Ziggy Allwyn went off, and that left foot kick is fantastic. He made no mistake there. Pops it straight through the middle. Margin back to 4 goals. Stewie Kemperman's first. 14-10-94. Plays 10-10-70. 25 and a half minutes gone here on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Division 1 finals in the Eastern Football League.
That's been the what they've needed to do in this last quarter is get it down there quickly. Unfortunately, they've got the ball across that half-back line and stopped and then not moved the ball quickly through the middle. When they do it, they open up their forward line and they look dangerous.
As quick as you like, Mitcham back out to a comfortable lead of 21 points, 2 quick goals.
Oh, good mark.
Almost all over at Eastfield.
Tell you what, he's had a good game, this bloke.
He doesn't play a bad game.
His last quarter's been excellent, hasn't it?
It has.
Stewie Hill, for those interested.
Stewie Hill switches it out wide. Mark's been taken by Calder. Up towards the half-forward line, bouncing football. This is okay. He's Cruzeradas, who arched the back in the end, got a grubber of a kick away. Only got about 10 metres, so Noble Park have the numbers. Across the half-back line, there you go. Harper takes the mark into the middle. Here's Kyle Martin. He looking for the old 1-2 was Harper, and he took it now. Can have time and have a bounce. Just get boot to ball. Son goes back to Martin. He's about 60 metres out from goal. He thumps it goalwards. It's a one-on-one situation here. It's knocked away. Nicely done there by Johnson, who wanted his own piece of the pie. Kicked a goal, but it's only 1 point for Noble Park. Margin back out to 23 points out here at Bayswater Oval. 27-minute mark of this final term.
But again, the quick running is what they needed to do, and they did that then. So something for them to learn for next week.
Ava takes it. One of Seymour's favourites.
Yep, best on ground in the interleague game. Played for the Vic Metro side as well. He's a star, Matty Ava.
Big fly over the back. O'Sullivan was there. So too Anderson, who was trying to go backwards to his teammate Wilson. He kept the ball alive. Sam Monaghan, little look away handball. Jessup was in there. Monaghan was also after it. Poynton got a little grubber on it, and here's Gould, who was able to pick up the spoils. Short passes on. Williams had a little bit of space there, but the kick couldn't hit him. Tim Kelly chops it off for Noble Park. Short passes on towards Robertson. Jessup came from behind. He created the spoil, went after it again. He copped one almost high then over the shoulder. By said all is fair, and we'll have a bounce.
Get another one for undisciplined work here.
Been impressed with Craig Anderson. He has not stopped trying all day, the Noble Park skipper. Has been very, very good.
Trojan-like?
Yes, Trojan-like, someone would say. So Norwood coming out with the free kick.
It was just another undisciplined piece of play from the Bulls then.
They've lost it, I think, a bit here, the Bulls. So the man they call Fingers gets it to Jessup, who plays on from the paint of 50 to the goal square.
Well done.
Matty DeClue, his second goal in the last quarter. Just pinches it, runs into the open goal, puts it through, margin back out to 29 points. That's a contender, the Pancake Parlour play of the day.
They have
around the ground.
They've punished them each time, haven't they?
Yep.
Around the grounds, thanks to the local Burger Co. Sorry, boys. Full time at Tullamore Reserve.
Seamless.
Doncaster 18-14, 122 have defeated Croydon and will walk their way into the grand final in a couple of weeks' time. Croydon 1-4-10.
That is abysmal. That is abysmal.
Speaking of abysmal, exactly. Kyle Martin will have a shot on goal. Maybe it's him. I know there's a free kick going to Noble Park.
Martin kicked it. He got the clearance, so I don't think he's got the free kick. He's
he was
inside 50
standing
as well.
right next to the umpire, so no need to bust throw, that type of thing.
I think it's Keeley.
So it's all done and dusted, Seymour.
Yeah, there's the final siren. We'll have a shot on goal after the fact. I think it's Dan Keeley for the Bulls. It is. So he'll try and put one through from 50.
Not that percentage is going to come into it.
No, it's certainly not Brash, and kick's just gone to the left-hand side. The Noble Park crowd, the Norwood crowd rather, love that one. O'Sullivan takes a strong mark on the line. That's all she wrote out here, the first qualifying final at Bayswater Oval. Norwood 15-10-100. Get the chocolates over Noble Park 10-11-71. A fantastic win from the Norsemen. Brett Davidson, they went out to that early lead in the first quarter by about 4.5 goals. Noble Park, try as they might, could never get back with inside 11 points. It was a strong performance from the reigning premiers.
It was. Mick Fogarty is not happy. He's shaking his head as he walks off. He is not a happy man at the moment. He went into the dugout where the umpires were and had a word to the emergency umpire and came back.
I think Darren Goldsping's around that area. Maybe go and have a chat with him.
Yeah, look, I'm not sure. But look, as you said, they were very, very good for what they needed to do. I still don't think they played great football. Probably their last quarter, they played some good football in the last quarter, got their running game going, took advantage of all the mistakes. And that was the difference, I think, in the whole game, was that Norwood took advantage of all Noble Park's mistakes. Every time they seemed to make one, they took advantage of it, which is what good teams do, and hurt them on the board. But they've got a long way to go before they can come out and say that they've got BALWYN's measure next week. They're going to have to play some much better football over the entire game than what they played today. Noble, well...
They're in a bit of trouble, I think, Dave, because for them to actually now think that they could possibly win a flag becomes insurmountable, I think, because now they now have to go back to Ringwood next Sunday to take on the loser of tomorrow's game and hope to get back here in 2 weeks' time. have they spent all their petrol tickets all at once?
Well, it's going to be tough. I mean, it looks like Ziggy Allwyn looks very worse for wear out there, just coming off the ground with his teammates. Shoulder under the sling. We don't know how bad it is, but you wouldn't have thought they'd be beating a Norwood or a Baldwin without Ziggy Allwyn.
No. And unfortunately, if they're going to play on a big ground, the thing that's going to go against them is their lack of leg speed. They fought hard. When they got the ball in close and closed the game down, they were certainly more competitive. But once that game got out in the open, and it happened a few times in that last quarter, it was Norwood's leg speed that got them over the line each time.
And they look physically a little bit stronger too, Dave. The Norwood boys, the 22 to 26-year-old boys, they're like the 6'1" mobile type guys. They can run. Whereas a few of the Noble Park guys like the Keens and stuff like that are a bit small.
Yeah. Here's the Norwood song. Very happy Norwood Football Club. They've done the job here today. 29-point winners over Noble Park. They book a date with the BALWYN Footy Club. Same time, same place next week. Brett Davidson. But Vermont Rowville tomorrow now we turn our attentions to, because the winner of that game comes up against the Noble Park side that will be very, very keen to atone.
They might be very keen to atone, but the one thing we've talked about, both the Vermont and the Rowville side, is that they're young and they run. So what they're going to have to do, Noble, is whoever they get to play against, they're going to have to close the game down. They're going to have to make it a little bit more of a physical contest. And they've got to make sure they don't allow the outside runners. And they've probably got to work out a new structure of having Alwyn out. And remember, with Norwood, they've still got English and a Bate to come back into that side.
Yep.
Two hard running.
2 walk-ups as well.
And just big bodies. They're big bodies, which is what they probably lack.
I'm thinking that they're going to have to pull their head in a little bit next week, because it's cutthroat footy for them and they can't afford to give a cheap free kicks away.
They look knackered too. I mean, they'll be sore this week. They'll really need to manage
That was
themselves.
a really physical game of football after quarter time. Quarter time was all running, but after quarter time, that was a really physical game. That's what got them back in.
Yeah, we're back on.
That's not going to happen when you play one of the sides next week on the big ground.
No,
it's going to be a running game, and they're going to need to have a real rest this week and get those bruised bodies back into
maybe
into
a pool
contention.
session or two, Davo.
They're going to have to do something, because they're not going to be able to do much work on the track, because they will be very sore after
around
today.
the grounds. Sorry, Davo, around the grounds thanks to the local Burger Co. Mitcham into the 2015 Division 3 Grand Final, getting over the line against Templestowe. The Tigers 10-11-71, defeating Templestowe 6-8-44 this afternoon.
Well, it's,
well, the favourites have got up.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you'd expect.
Gee whiz, how would you be being Croydon tonight?
Paul Newlands, as I said, he'll be absolutely mortified at that performance today.
Well, look, it's all right, and it's all right for coaches to say, look, put that one behind you. It's
You
blah, 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 but it's a final, and you've come out against a side like that. It's that's going to be a very tough contest next week against
You know
who
what I'd
they
be
play.
thinking? You know what I'd be thinking, Davo?
No.
You're going to need a bigger boat.
Tyson Baker obviously very bored this afternoon in the Radio
All
East
day he's
studios.
tried to work that one.
Yes, yeah.
I tried it about 15 minutes ago and it didn't quite work, and I've been wanting to try and fit it in somewhere ever since.
Oh, not bad at all. Our LifeCare boundary riders aren't too far away from finding one of the normal boys to have a chat to as they just go through their paces out in the middle of Bayswater Oval still. Like I said before the game, Brasher, BALWYN Norwood repeat grand final day almost seems now, even more so, like a lay-down misère.
Yeah, you're right, Paul. Maybe another date with destiny for these two sides is on the horizon. I mean, obviously we've got them up against each other in a second semi-final next week, and you know, BALWYN, I'm sure, would have been down here this afternoon and had a little bit of a look of, you know, who they're going to be up against and what they've got to do and who they've got to shut down. And I think if they walked around tonight, or walked away from the ground tonight, I think they'd be thinking, yeah, I think we can go into this game next week quite confident that we can perform at a good level.
Yeah, I agree. I think there would be nothing about what they saw today which would give them nightmares. They're not going to walk away going, gee, how do we stop?
No.
How do we stop? I mean, Williams was good down forward. I thought Stewart was good down forward, but BALWYN have got the defensive structures to be able to combat them. And then if you go the other way, while Hill was great, we thought that the Noble forward line was fairly dysfunctional except for that 15-minute period in the third quarter where Alwyn
and Allen
and those boys were all down there and they looked really dangerous. Suddenly Alwyn came off and they lost their structure again.
Yeah,
so they're going to be a different kettle of fish when they come up against the bottom
I know
side.
BWS called Davey Johnson my love child, and
rightfully so.
Yeah, and rightfully so. Davo, I looked at his game again today. I think he needs to do. I think he needs to do a bit more. I mean, he's actually quite mercurial by nature, and he lopes around a lot. I'm not sure what his best position is. He seems to play well when he's a focal point, and I know he played centre half forward for most of his career, and I think he's been asked to go around now. Do you think with English and co ready to come back in, do you reckon his spot could be up for grabs?
Boundary.
Possibility. We'll listen to what these boys have to say first.
Let's cross down boundary side thanks to LifeCare, whereas Damian Watson has a star of the Norwood Football Club, the vice skipper, Stuart Hill.
Stewie, a fantastic effort from the boys. They were challenged in the third term and particularly early on in the final term, but you managed to stick it through and come out with a win. You must be pleased.
Yeah, we wrapped. It was, I mean, the weather was inconsistent, but it's just a pretty tough finals game. Probably wasn't as pretty for the spectators to see, but it was a tough game, yeah.
I was going to ask you about the intensity. How tough was it, particularly in the early stages?
Yeah, the contest at the body was really hard. There's good players fumbling, and then sometimes the skills drop off, but you know, you certainly know it's different from rounds 1 to 18.
Does a win in this context where it's been tough and hard and physical really set you up confidence-wise for the game against BALWYN next week?
Yeah, I just think we've got confidence in ourselves that we can beat everyone, but we certainly know it's a really tough competition. I mean, the top 5 sides have proven that they're all good and they're all capable of winning. So I mean, we know we can win and we can beat every side, but we also know how good all the other sides are as well.
I'll throw it up to the boys for some questions.
Stewie, congratulations on a fantastic win. Noble Park are always a bit of a strange one from a defensive point of view because they work through guys like Allen and Orwin who are sort of smaller, more mercurial. They do their best work at ground level, guys who are going to kick most of their goals. So what did that mean for you in terms of your approach to today, knowing that you might have to spend some time on players like that?
I guess we were just told to be organised, really. They've got a lot of players that can roll through. They've got 3-4 stars up there. And then second half, Dory and Fake did a really good job. So, I mean, you've got to be switched on. We've got to be willing to change opponents at the drop of the hat and make sure we we switch on to the different play that we're on.
You certainly weren't alone being one of the solid defenders out on the ground. Adam Gibson, we thought up here, was absolutely sensational. Did most of the kick-ins when the Noble Park boys kicked it behind as well. He rebounded off half-back. Did some great work close to goal as well. You must enjoy doing some work alongside a player like that.
Yeah, definitely. So he, Norwood Junior, I don't know when he played, but played last couple of years at East Ringwood and came across this year and it's fit in really easy. I guess it's probably reasonably easy to fit in when you have a crack like that week in, week out. It's pretty easy to make mates.
Yeah, spot on.
Yeah, look, Brett Davidson here. Look, just talking about the other blokes in the back half, Matty Ava seems to be one of those players that gets a lot of the tall options as well, but his running and disposal is fantastic. Is he another one that you really like to work with down in that back half?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I think maybe people only started to take notice when he got best on the interleague match, and I think Nida, being the coach of that, backed him in, and it was a right choice. We've known internally he's been a star for the last couple of years, but just so versatile. So he's looks really comfortable against big ruckman and doesn't look out of sorts against small forwards. So it's a handy weapon to have up your side.
Stewie, congratulations. Great effort today. One bloke I want to talk about is a bit of a favourite of mine, and it's Davey Johnson. Whereabouts do you think his best position is? Because he seems to be a bit of a footy nomad in your side. He seems to be plugging a lot of gaps.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't know. No, look, he can play a super hit-up centre forward. Stephen Tall got a great leap, super athletic. I know I wouldn't like to play on him. Has done some super jobs, even years gone by, tagging mullet when need be. So, and he has a crack. He's one of the toughest players we have. So I think he's just a weapon that we have when we need a bit of a hand and we've got a hole that he can come in and fix it for us.
Hilly, it's BWS here, mate. Congratulations on the win, and congratulations on taking home $25 Pancake Parlour voucher for that magnificent defenceless mark in that last term. So we've given you a little bit of a voucher, mate, but well, it's not even worth 4 points, but to go through next week, you guys must be absolutely wrapped. And what was the message that was set out there as all you boys huddled on the edge of the centre square?
I just worry about all the things we can, so we'll look after our bodies and make sure we're all set to give Balwyn a red-hot crack next week.
A couple of late players not making the lineup today, so any update on that?
Not really. So, Beta pulled out with about 20 minutes left in minutes. I didn't really know too much about it. Obviously, you're in the zone doing your thing. Ace's AC, Alex Calder, was just on standby and did an awesome job. So, in the end, it's a really good move because, I think Beta was probably okay, but he just took one for the team. So I think it's a really good move, and I think now holds us in better stead for it.
Brilliant team performance today, mate. Go in there and warm down, and we look forward to calling you guys over the coming weeks.
Thanks, Benny.
Thanks to Stuart Hill, the vice-captain of the Norwood Football Club, an absolute ripper, an absolute rock of Gibraltar down back for the Norwood Football Club, Brash.
Yeah, really, he was outstanding. He had a really good game today. Those two players, we're talking about Matty Bate and Brent English. With Brent English missing so much game time this year, he's that sort of player that really needs to be playing 4 quarters of football. He's one of those type of players that, that needs to grind a game out. Dave, him missing that game today, is that sort of going to give Dennis Knight a bit of a problem with how to use him because he really needs to be playing on the ground right throughout the day? Can he do a job as a big player?
I think he can. I really think he's one of those grinded out footballers that runs all day and gets better and better as the quarter goes on. So an impact player I don't think he is, but geez, you wouldn't want to leave him out if he was available because he can do some incredible work with his big body and his enormous run.
Oh, I think my battery just went out as well.
Grant Campbell, thanks to Choose Tap Match Stats.
So having a look at the final stats, the hit-outs went 63 to 38 in the way of Noble Park. They won the clearances 50 to 38. They had 27 more kicks with 199 to 172. Norwood having 113 handballs to 94. Contested possessions, very even. Norwood in the end won 140 to 139. Inside 50 count, 47 to 46 the way of Noble Park. And Noble Park had 13 marks inside 50 to 8. So on the basis of those stats, you would have thought that Noble Park would have just about got up today. Kyle Martin, only the 6 touches to half-time, but he had 6 in the third quarter and finished off with 12 in the last to finish with a respectable total of 24. Not quite the 52 of last week, still a decent performance by him.
Spot on, Soupy. And in terms of multiple goal kickers, Darren Stewart, he kicked 4. Lee Williams kicked 3. I think Shane Allen kicked 4 for Noble Park. Our goal kicker sheet has fallen off the balcony up here.
It flew away.
Oh, Brasher's got them. Yeah, the wind picked it up. He dropped it. But yeah, 4 to Stewart, 2 to Matty McCormack, the former Baronia player. Good performance by him. 2 last quarter goals to Matty DeClure. They were fantastic. And from a Noble Park point of view, yeah, Shane Allen kicked the 4 and Ziggy Orwin kicked 3 before going off the ground with a busted shoulder just before 3-quarter time. Time to do our Concave Player of the Day award, $150 voucher thanks to Concave Footy Boots coming their way. 3, 2 and 1. We'll start with you, Wayne Brasher. Go 1, 2, 3. Work your way up.
Yeah, my first vote goes to Adam Gibson. I thought his game back down, back forward, and that was exceptional. He drifted forward, created opportunity. I just thought that his game was fantastic. 2 votes I'm going to give to Glenn Manson. I thought when Noble Park needed a spark, he went into the ruck. He tried to get his team over the line. He worked extremely hard backwards and forwards and in the ruck contest. It wasn't his fault that they went down. And 3 votes I've got to go for Darren Stewart. I've always maintained that when you've got a premier or a really, really good centre-half forward that can take marks, is mobile, can kick the ball long, he's going to create a lot of opportunities and take a lot of heat. And Darren Stewart took that today and came up spades for mine.
Soup?
I think I'll have a couple of unique votes here, but give praise to some players that deserve it. My 1 vote I gave to Lee Williams. I just really liked his hard work throughout the day, and he had that bit of class that I thought was really effective. 2 votes I gave to the player I thought was best on ground in the first half, which was Semertzidis for Norwood. Yep. And my 3 votes, in a losing side, I reckon if Manson didn't play, they would have lost by over 10 goals. So I know they lost, but he was worth about 6 goals today, and I thought he was the best player, even though he was on the losing side.
Fair enough, Soupy. Davo, how did you see the best players?
Look, I agree with what everyone said. It was one of those games where there were a lot of players that came in and out of the game and not a lot that played the full 4 quarters, but Darren Stewart, 4 goals, gave him a vote. I thought he was excellent all game and gave him a focal point. And in finals football, you need forwards to stand up and win games for you. I gave 2 votes to Glenn Manson. He was sensational, and I agree. If he hadn't been there, they would have lost by a lot more. But if they'd kept him on the ground for a little bit longer, I think he was off for too many breaks, then they could have been a bit closer. And I gave 3 votes to Lockie Dixon. I thought he was tremendous today. He's run all over the ground, use of the football, clearing kicks and kicks to...
It was either him or Kyle Martin that were getting the ball out of the centre. So I gave 2 to Anderson, and 3 votes I think have to go to Adam Gibson from Norwood across half-back and deep in defence. He propelled a lot of Noble Park attacks. He set up a lot of Norwood attacks on his own and was just a strong performer in the back line for them.
1 vote to Darren Stewart today for the Noble Park Football Club. Of course, we've all said 4 goals, and he was a really good option up forward for them. When we talk about the Noble Park and Norwood goal-kicking power, it's always Lee Williams, Lee Williams, Lee Williams. So it's good to see that they've got the decoys and they've got the targets up there. 2 votes today go to Lachlan Dixon. Agree with Davo. He was absolutely super. He made space. He won his own football, and he created a lot of play across that half-back line for the Norwood Football Club, as did Adam Gibson, who I thought was an absolute pearl today. 3 votes on the board to him, so might make things a little bit interesting here as you tally them up, Seymour.
It does. Adam Gibson finished with 7 votes, but winning the day, my math is no good, but I'm certain Manson is on 8 votes. So Chuck Manson, the big ruckman from Noble Park, is our Concave Player of the Day, which is a stellar effort in a side that lost by near on 5 goals. We had our Trojan Hand Tools Workhorse Award. It's a great prize. You get a Trojan toolkit, a Swift Blade hacksaw, a turbo knife, claw
150
hammer,
smackers
19-piece screwdrivers, 4-piece Louise Plyer said, anything you want to do some work around the house. My nomination, I was thinking Craig Anderson earlier on, but I thought the skipper for Norwood was as close to a four-goal performer, a four-quarter performer out on the ground this afternoon. Johnny optimised the term.
Many years ago.
Say goodbye to our live camp riders, Andy Paolacci, resident tourism expert. Thanks for
They've got a 500 gig.
No, it's really not. And next to you, Damian Scuff. What's the back on the Eastern football team? Didn't fight back. Soupy almost signs off with something hilarious. What have you got for us today? Ryan Brasher, extra special comments from you again this afternoon. It's pretty fun the season that Red Sail Yes, no, that was there. Damo, we're a resident strange coach on the Eastern Football League media team. Your insight is always fantastic.
My drive. That's all.
Yeah. The honour if you do.
USB too. Which means if you're doing it straight off that, it probably won't make any difference. But still tend to find the Windows copies at the faster than the 8 does.
Yeah, I don't usually use that anymore.
But do you record yours straight into USB? I found that was a little bit slow. I had a couple of dropped frames and then again I did turn the
so you've got a drive inside there.
I put a drive inside then I just
Oh, that's pretty good.
I'll be back on tomorrow morning. Don't worry about Dyson Bakery.
I've got a MacBook there.
Hope you've enjoyed the broadcast. Hope you've enjoyed the broadcast this afternoon. And we'll be back on AFL Sunday tomorrow. Mark stepping up to Curtis House. enjoyed the broadcast. It's Norwood going through.
I know his answer. You get it?
Hey?